content for you guys. And we are back with part 5 of our Holland little series, where we are attempting to play Tool. But we do have the Big Blue Blob on the horizon. So just a little bit of a problem for something else for us to sort out, really. But with 1.3.2, the game is a hell of a lot slower. As you can see, our tax base is quite low for where we probably should be at the game, if you compare to previous updates. However, that gives us the unique opportunity to try and overtake the French. Now, for just having the Low Countries, we shouldn't be anywhere near the French tax base if you're taking different or previous updates into account. But we're only pretty much a third of where they are. So our sort of strategy is to focus on that eco build, to get those mercs, and then to go for one critical mass war against France. We've already survived one, as we joined the English war in the last session. Now, we weren't the war leader, so we couldn't do anything. But our fort line held quite well. Our army, unfortunately, didn't, but there's only so much we can do in that respect. But we can always try and address that in the future. Now, welcome to the stream, everyone. It's good to see you. I'm just sort of getting this stream. We've got some fancy new stream tech. So theoretically, it should be much better. I just need to get the tech all sorted. 1 second. That should be good. How is it looking stream-wise? Hopefully, it's a lot better for you guys. Now, let's get cracking. So we've got some money coming to the bank. Not very much. We've still got this professional army, albeit we're not trying to fund it at the moment. As I believe, if I remember correctly, we're pretty close to getting down naval. Now, let's have a look at that. So we are 0.7 off, getting to the 50 naval that we need to get the next, the harbour administration privilege that we really, really want. I mean, if you have a look at it, it's just insane. I'm not sure if it pops up yet, but hopefully. Oh, that's a good new unique change, actually. It now shows you the prerequisite societal values for all of the privileges and reforms that you can get, and that's a 1.3 change. That's really, really cool. Yeah, harbour administration is absolutely insane. We just need to get to 50 naval, which is the challenge, considering we're at 47 at the moment, but we can push to 43. Now, this is because of our army. So we could delete our army, but we've invested about 2,000 ducats into it so far. So we'd be missing out on quite a lot if we just got rid of it. But it's definitely an option that's available to us. Let's just keep going for now and see what we can accomplish. In the meantime, is there another value we can push? Well, we're quite far down centralisation. Let's try capital economy and see if we can get further down that. Yeah, 0.33. Welcome to the stream, everyone. It's good to see you. Stream is good, no status? Lovely. Time to get some Parliament RNG. Well, theoretically, if we can get into a war, we can use our emergency Parliament, which would be quite nice. Ooh. I'm getting some weird sounds, so apologies if the start of the stream is a bit weird. I need to try and figure out why it's not working properly. Let's just check if it's a game audio issue. It does seem to be. Yeah, it was an interface sound issue, which is weird. Let's see if we can turn it back on and make... Yeah, there is that weird ticking sound. I'm just going to evict our interface sound so we don't hear it. I don't know what's going on with it, but it is a beta branch, right? Crazy stuff does happen. When will you play Poland? I've actually been thinking of a Poland and Lithuania run recently. Trying to experiment with food maxing and seeing if you can make an economy directly out of that. However, it's not exactly in the best economic shape to make an economy out of food at the moment. So the incentive to do it isn't really there. But we could definitely try it out at 1.3 and see if it's better than other versions. Sort of the idea is that as you get into that mid-game, people were mass urbanizing, right? And we're about to do that soon when we start trying to get as many towns and cities in as small amount of area as possible. Which obviously, when you've got these fancy old RGOs, like our 11 out of 12, there are 6 out of 12. If we turn these into cities, we're drastically killing our food production. So if you can make yourself, in these fancy old regions around here, where you can stack those food buffs, the breadbasket of Europe, my thinking is you can make a decent economy out of it. However, we'll have to see, right? There's a lot that can happen. Now, we've got we have our ruler as an admiral. Now our heir is 14. So when our heir comes of age, that's another 0.5 that we can get towards naval, which would take us to 0.48. And we've got our next parliament. So hopefully something comes up that lets us get further down. Now, support a mercantile cabinet is actually insane. Pop promotion speed, cabinet efficiency. This guy gets some good stats, albeit he is 63. We could go land trade routes, gravel road network. How is our road network doing, actually? We did invest in it quite heavily. Yeah, it's looking really good. Albeit all of this is still a bit green, but that's because there's so many different roads going around, so it's not exactly the most optimal destination. But whether it's worth doing fresh ones, it probably isn't. So let's go for a mercantile cabinet, and that will help us push our values a little bit further. Now, is there anything else we could get to push naval rather than just relying on this air that we're about to get? I mean, obviously, reducing our army is the big one, but I don't really want to do that. Admiralty regime, well, we can't do that yet. Mandated naval service, we can't do that yet either. Can't do that yet. Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Can we make you head of the cabinet? Oh, you're already head of the cabinet, so that wouldn't change anything. Let's get some extra development in Antwerp. That's always nice. And we can always do a parliament agenda to get ourselves back up. We'll do support for cabinet. Capital economy. That will always help. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Yeah, our current ruler is kind of crap, right? So we want him to die as fast as possible. He is terrible. But we can't really do much about that. We need to get our maritime presence up, and we are ticking up slowly. We could always check for some unique buildings to see if they can help us with that. But we've got a lot of money in the bank, so let's quickly check our RGOs and see if there's anything good we can get. Well, the Salt RGO in Horn, Geertruden, Amsterdam. Yeah, we do have some nice RGOs we can get. What is our cost reduction on that? It's quite high. We've got a bit of a lumber issue. So can we get any more lumber mills to fix that lumber crisis? Let's have a quick go. Now, what market are you guys in? Oh, you're in our market too. So yes, we can go and get some nice lumber mills over here. Let's do it. Let's see what we can accomplish. Now, let's see if the sound is a little bit better. Hopefully the glitch has sorted itself out. Otherwise, it will be a little bit annoying to have a stream with no sound. Oh, and we've already crashed. Yeah, I could tell there was some sort of glitch in this this setup. So let's quickly restart the stream and see what we can fix. Hopefully the sound issue sorts itself. Sometimes with the betas you can have some good stability issues, but hopefully not. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for subscribing. Joe Platt, it's good to see you. Timothy as well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. Crashing EU5 any percentage speedrun. Yeah, absolutely right. The game is just a little bit unstable. There's only so much we can do in that regard, but I'd much rather get the sound sorted before we get deep into the run and cause ourselves many issues. If the game would actually do what I wanted to do, that would be nice. Nope, it's already crashed again. What is going on, EU5? Do you want to get a grip of yourself? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the stability in this patch. It does seem to be crashing a lot. Are you guys struggling with that as well? Or is that something just me, my issue? But it should sort itself out. Just give it a second. Hopefully, it gets a little bit better. But we shall see. It's not the end of the world. We can't fix our issues, but hopefully it gets a little bit better. I would like some stability for once. I mean, that's one of my big problems with EU5, right? That not just stability and performance, albeit it's a lot better in this patch. Stability and updates, and just the overall game development speed. Is you don't want to be having to relearn mechanics on a daily basis. And at the moment, unfortunately, that's something that it does seem to be happening just a little bit. But we shall fix it. It'll be fine. We can't die to France if we're not in the game, right? That's a big bonus action for us. We've just got to move past it, really. We should be in imminently. Thank you for joining the stream, everyone. It's good to see you all. Thank you, Johan. Very cool. Absolutely. Let's blame him. Like, why are you optimizing production lines in 1420 in a game that's supposed to be above the transition of the feudal administration into a unitary state? Yeah, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. But they have slowed it down in 1.3, right? I don't know if you've played it yet, but they have really slowed it down, which is very, very good for the game as a whole, because you shouldn't, like you said, we shouldn't be having a industrial revolution so early. Let's just hope it continues that way. Brussels, let's get some lumber mills over there. Lovely. Now our parliament's about to be finished, which is brilliant. We will get some extra stats on our guy if we want them. Now, we could use it to get a CB on someone. So what's our current coalition like? Antagonism. We don't have a coalition, but we do have quite a few truces, if I remember right. Yeah. What about Moonster? Have we got a truce with you? Doesn't look like it. Is there anything we want to take from you, though? Well, that livestock province could be quite good. It's 10 out of 11. Gives a lot of food. And we do have some food issues in this little region of the world. Or the stuff around here. You're our primary culture in Low Franconian. Do we have a truce with you? Yes, we do, unfortunately. You're Walloon, but that's not a bad culture for us. Frisia is the obvious target, all going after France, right? If we were to declare war on France, no one would join. Bohemia is miles away from joining, and we're over our cultural capacity anyway, so we probably need to get rid of our Danish alliance. Let's do that quite quickly. Break alliance. Lovely. So we need to make Bohemia and England like us a bit more before we go over to France. What about law changes? Is there anything we can do? We've got Favour the Wealthy, which is proving quite well for us at the moment. You've got to try a Flanders game, Flemish Cloth, and Cloth Rises ridiculous early game econ. Yeah, they just feel like you're playing the Netherlands on easy mode, though. And I'm not really here for that. Oh, is the stream still not up? You're only seeing a black... Oh, I hate this new stream tech. Right, let's... We might have to do a cheeky restart if it's not working. I don't know what the problem is. Let me know in the chat. Can you just see a black screen, or is it just not working at all? What is going on here? I am very confused. Let's see if we can fix something. So, video capture, display capture, window. Is that working now? Hopefully, that seems to be working. Do let me know if you can see the stream. I'm sorry for the issues at the moment, but we are getting some new tech up. So hopefully it starts working. Yes, we can see it. Good to see you, Kappa Jam, as well. Thank you for joining in. Now, we are working again, so let's get cracking. Now, hopefully we don't have any random ass crashes again, but I can't promise anything. We are definitely windowed. Yeah, we should be fine. Let's just get cracking, and we can move on. So, we need to build our economy up. So we could start urbanizing, but we probably want to get the foundations of our economy sorted first. So getting lots of cloth coming up, as that's our national industry, getting our lumber surpluses down. Now, we do still have this issue of being across two separate markets. Now, are we having any major problems from that? What's the big... We've got a big lumber shortage in this market, and we've got a big tool shortage in this market as well. I'm surprised our tools are that unprofitable, but without trying to give me an incentive to make some more. So let's definitely get on that in Antwerp. Let's make a nice little tool industry. Yeah, it really doesn't say they're profitable. I wonder why, but when we have such a big issue with them. I'm guessing our lumber price is bad. Yes, it is. So we are currently having to import lumber, and our demand is quite high anyway. So we're going to preemptively make some tool guilds, but we should also make some bog iron smelters if we can. Yes, we can. And this is what a sort of a perfect economy for us, but just because we've got this the lowlands, which is obviously amazing for us. So let's get some bog iron smelters in Rotterdam going. Oh, we've got a new son in Wilkmar. Lovely. Willem is our current heir. Do we want to go for any fancy names? Conscript. There you go, mate. Have a son named after you. Hopefully he's a bit better than our current king, who is abjectly terrible. We'll go for some bog iron smelters in Breda, as they've got some really good proximity to our capital. And we'll see what we can accomplish after that one. If we can become a bit of an iron market, and then just export that to the rest of our opposing nations in Europe, we can't exactly lose out on that, because iron is so scarce, especially as you get into the mid game. Now, the production method that for the bog iron smelters is coal. Now, we have a good coal supply at the moment because of Rotterdam. Is that an RGO, or do we just have... We've got a coal RGO in Bergen, which is good for us, but it's in the wrong market at the moment. Are there any other coal RGOs around here? This guy up here. This is Essen. Essen is our culture, so we could think about going for you. We do have a truce with them, so that's the promise we should get as fast as possible. But in Rotterdam, I'm guessing we've just got a lot of charcoal manufacturing plants. Charcoal kilns. Because we can essentially make an economy out of them, where we produce lumber through lumber mills. We then make lumber into coal. We make coal into iron. And then we make iron into tools, which then goes into that lumber. And that is essentially a generic economic spiral that anyone can really use, as long as you've got the right wetlands terrain for it. Now, wetlands is a bit of a problem otherwise, because it gives you some serious debuffs, right? Just have a look on screen. They are crazy. Makes it a little bit easier to defend ourselves, but the big advantage of wetlands is these bog iron smelters. And I really don't think we've got anything to lose by spamming them out a bit. We just need to get our control up, so wherever we are making them, we're going to get some good economic value out of them. And we'll just get them going. We've got some manpower issues at the moment. Obviously, the Black Death is still haunting us, and our population is quite low. So we don't want to overexert ourselves, but we should be okay to get a considerable amount up. And then this should just give us a good to just go around as well. Like, what's our iron? Yeah, we're in iron deficit at the moment. There's quite a lot of local demand. But once we get our supply up, we can just export it around anyway. So we'll make a lot of money out of it. You don't see chat messages anymore. I'm too annoyed at it to look at it again. I'll figure it out later on. And I don't want to keep tabbing out and risking we crash the stream before I get my fancy second old monitor and we sort it out. That's a tech for the future. in the meantime, let's keep going and get our economy going. Now, I do like the bog iron idea we've come up with. So let's go hard into it, I think. Let's get some more in Amsterdam. Let's get some more in Geertruida. And we can also think about all of our markets, because obviously we're across both. We will preemptively... What is our lumber... We've got a slight lumber surplus at the moment, which is good. And we've just got some mercenary cost reductions, which is lovely. Let's go for some, I guess, culture capacity. So we can get some extra staff cord, which would be nice. We'll worry about it later. Let's keep going. And some formal city rights as we want to start urbanizing. Now, do we want the Emperor dynastic preference, where they can vote for themselves? I mean, sure. I'll just support our ally because we want them to be our friend. It's not the end of the world. Let's start also thinking about reducing our coalition. So people who have got AE with us who might join us, and we obviously don't want them to. So I think Cologne is the big one for that. They've got quite a lot of AE with us, so let's improve relations with them. So that if we do have a France issue, we want to fight them on our own terms, rather than with a gigantic coalition at our back that causes us some issues. Hey, Holland is not under threat. Holland's not under threat at all. We are. Unfortunately, we've got the Big Blue Blob who is coveting our land. Now, we can build a spy network on them if we want to see their specific strategic objections? No, that's the wrong word. Objectives. There you go. And that's probably a good idea as well. We need a new cabinet minister as well. Who can we go for? You're influential. You are also influential. You're an architect, which would be very good for us. Let's go for you, just to get that trait. Because that will make a lot of these buildings we're spamming out at the moment cheaper. So because we've gone so hard into bog iron, let's get a few more spinners going in the meantime. But we also need to get some charcoal as well, just to make up for that demand that's about to hit us. So let's get some charcoal kilns going. Yeah, they're already becoming more profitable. And we want to focus them in our places that are going to give us the most profit possible. We'll take the legitimacy hit. It's not costing us that much money at the moment, which is fine. Let's go here around our capital and just get some more charcoal coming in. Just to prepare for that economic spiral. Now, it's going to take them a while to find the people they need to fill those industries, which is okay. They'll get there, though. But we just need to be ready for that transition when we get there. Yeah, you can very much over specialize if you go for Flanders, right? You can get some really high value industries. You get the tradition, the urban rights, like it's kind of insane. The AI is definitely not making the most of that economy, but it is playing the Netherlands on easy mode because you don't have the France issue. You can just take all the land you want and then go for independence later on once you've got your entire continent consolidated. So, and something I really enjoy about EU5 is the challenge rather than just getting away scot-free. But everyone's got to play the game their own way, right? You've got to figure out what you enjoy and what you don't. Let's get some more RGOs coming up as well. There's some good ones. We don't want to run out of food issues. We are making 1.8 ducats already from just selling food, which is nice. And that's going to the Den Haag market. Yeah, that does have some issues, but it obviously costs us money when we get our army up and running again. Now, has our heir come of age? He has. Brilliant. So if we split our fleet out and then put our heir on a second one, and if we start encouraging towards naval now, we are at 0.49. No! That's really sad. Okay, what can we do to get an extra 0.1? Sadly, I think what we're going to have to do is consolidate our army together. Are we still 0.49? Yes, we are. All we need to do is get to 50 and then we're fine. So then we're going to get rid of 1 unit of cavalrymen. What does that do? Are we still 0.49? Yes, we are. No, we're not. 0.55. I just accidentally deleted the entire army. Well, I'm going to live with that mistake. Oh, I hate the UI in this game sometimes. That's criminal. Oh well, at least we'll get far into Navy. Jesus, that is an expensive mistake. You guys saw nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay, well, we're going to get what we want, at least, in terms of getting a harbour administration. So let's do some forward planning and think about what government reform we want to change to unlock that. Okay, state patronage. Do we want money for research progress? Absolutely. Let's see if we can get a PU in Milan, if possible. We'll marry our heir over there. I would wish our guy would die, but he's not at the moment, unfortunately. We're almost at high administration, so I think it's probably going to be diplomatic traditions. We've taken a lot of the land that we already want to play Tool. After we get Flanders and the bits here, and Frisia, and the stuff of our culture, we can just sort of sit on our own laurels and build up our economy on our own mind. So I think going down for that, getting rid of diplomatic traditions will be okay. Because sure, it does give some good diplo capacity and diplo rep, but ultimately, it's a bit waylaid by the gigantic buffs you can get from the naval one. So let's just refresh quickly and find harbour administration, yeah. Naval governors, proximity impact through port, development growth, insane. Let's do that. Now, obviously the big change in 1.3 are these estate actions. So are there any good estate actions we can go for? We could try and reduce the effect of our nobility, but they're not our biggest fans at the moment. We could go for some extra legitimacy. That could be good if we want to get some urban rights. Or some extra courtiers, to be fair. Are there any urban rights we want? We've got Fortress Town in Antwerp, which we probably want to think about getting rid of because it's our new capital. Our armories are still shut down at the moment to get us some as much money as possible, which is always nice. Brussels is also a fortress town, as is, I think, Dordrecht. Yeah, we'll get rid of you. And we'll think about giving you... Well, what's your RGO? So you've got fish, clay, horses, and dyes. So you could be a good... well, you've got the cloth industry at the moment, right? But I don't want to give the Flemish cloth industry at the moment for the obvious reasons that it's kind of stupid. We obviously haven't unlocked the really good ones yet. We could just go for maritime presence and harbour capacity. Like going for staple ports and stuff. Yeah, we'll just give market charter. Is the market base there? No, it's not, but it will just give more market access and marketplace building levels. Yeah, we'll just get some Lubeck rights there, I think. Location ranks. Are there any urban rights that we haven't put on yet? I don't want to just keep... Ah, there's one here. So your fibrous crops. So you've got legumes, livestock, and beeswax. So you could be a good food one, actually. A granary town, because you've got some good food RGOs. Up here, you've got one. You've got one here as well. Same there, same there, same there. Bergen. Yeah, you've got one as well. So they've all got what they really want at the moment, and we can't give a second one as we haven't got any cities that are actually under our own control yet. So for the remaining 5 legitimacy, I guess we'll just take a cabinet courtier, and then we shall take the estate action. We want to keep using it as much as possible because our clergy satisfaction is so high anyway, and we're getting some good buffs from that though. The research speed from the high clergy satisfaction is kind of insane. Yeah, 16% there. Now, are there any other estate actions you want? Welcome to the stream, everyone who's joined. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you all. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, or if you're on Twitch following. Burgers. We can go for an emergency grant from the burgers. Yes, please. So we've got a rebellion. Let's take that. Let's just test something. So burgers have got 1.1k in their little estate pool. So I want to test whether this takes money straight out of it. I'm sure it does. Yeah, it does. So you're not actually getting this money out of nowhere. You are taking it from somewhere, which is your burgers. Now, we can also think about calling an emergency parliament because we are now at war. I think we'll probably do that through our clergy if it lets us. I mean, yeah, doubling your parliamentary speed is so strong. We can go for shipbuilding. We can go for gravel roads, noble garrisons, a clerical cabinet for more cabinet efficiency could be quite nice. Noble arts. I mean, we do have some good artists, but they're all terrible. Yeah, why don't we go for noble arts, right? But the reason is because we want this noble estate satisfaction recovery. So once we get to that 72 equilibrium, we can then go and curtail some of their estate buildings, get more money coming straight into our nobility, and we'll get more. We'll stop wasting economic value in our country, really. Now, we've got this rebellion. Let's just go and send our standing army to go and deal with it. I'm really annoyed I accidentally deleted it, but look, we get harbour capacity out of it, so it's not the end of the world. There we go. Our heir and admiral, can we murder? Oh no, he's good. Is he? Oh, he's better than our current ruler. We will scold him publicly, I guess. We'll take this guy for some prestige, and we'll go and siege down the provinces. I don't need to call our allies in. I believe we had a second child. That was very good, if I remember right. Yeah, our daughter. And this is the lady who's in the cabinet. So do we want to join a military order with her? Probably the Bremen one to get the admin ability. So she's now 97, 166. That's insane. She's got 2 kids, including a grandson. He's quite good. We could get some expensive education on him. That'd be nice. We've got conscript. He's 2 years old, so we don't really need anything on him yet, but we'll get some education when we can. We can actually think about changing our inheritance law if we get rid of right to inherit, if we want that. But I think curtailing their economics first is our first step. Do say hi in chat if you're here, by the way. It's good to see all of you and fresh faces. Let's keep pushing a new societal value, and I think that's going to be 3 subjects here. Yeah, 3 subjects is going to be quite good here. If we have a look at the value we can get from it, that promotion speed as we start urbanizing heavily is going to be really good. We'll take some French pops, why not? As will the prosperity recovery, enfranchisement as we start moving away from a noble economy. That will all be very, very useful for us. And let's go and siege the rest of it, and then hopefully our vassals should just take it for us. I know they're not the most loyal vassal in the world. If I remember right, they changed cultures against our will. Are they still? Oh no, they're still low Frankian. That's good. But they're not our biggest fans because we've enforced culture on them twice. Do we have a truce with France? No, the truce with France is about to end. Bohemia has an alliance with France now. Are they still our ally? They are. That's a bit of a problem though, because we obviously can't call them in. We are seriously over our diplo relation cap at the moment. Why is that? What's causing this diplo relation cap? So our duchy country rank, our base value. Yeah, that's come down significantly. I wonder if that's a recent change. So we might have to think about getting rid of our allies, but I would rather not do that. So how can we? I remember you can request a kingdom rank from the emperor. So we could request to be elevated in the circle, a financial grant, or military infrastructure expansion. The nobility are allowed to build roads, levy size reduction, but we just use them to build infrastructure. I mean, it's a risk, but sure, why not? We get cheap buildings for a while. I'm not going to complain at that. So we probably need to start thinking about getting some cities up and running. Antwerp, okay, good idea. Use the money we've got coming in. If we could buddy up with France, actually, that would be nice. But they do really hate us, so we can't afford to get rid of our allies. I'm just going to call them in for shits and giggles. Because I would rather we didn't die. Well, that's a good change. You can now annex your vassals' revolts. Now, that's a humongous. That was one of my biggest problems with EU5. Hey, look, we got the money for it. It's not the end of the world. The more crown estate people with high stats we can get is going to do us a good service in the future, even if they are the slow ones. Now, how is that iron economy going for us? We're back into a tool surplus now, which is nice. The recent tool investments have gone well in that respect. Antwerp is very profitable in terms of its spinners. It's got a Woolworgio. We could think about going for the Flemish cloth economy, but that would hurt our overall industry. If we made it into a big city, we would probably want it to not be over specialized. But we could think about going back to something over here if we wanted to. In the meantime, we could go for some fibrous crops, but I think we've got some good ones in Amsterdam. Yes. Probably just RGOs, but we do have that really good cost reduction for building, so it makes sense to build them while we've got the cheap availability. So let's get some cannon makers in Antwerp. Why not? We can also go for some carpenters. I mean, why not? They're pretty efficient. I don't want to over specialize our capital. I want it to be a jack of all trades, really. Local council. Counting house, chancery. Yeah, we definitely want a chancery. And our money is evaporating already, as it always does. Thoughts on the beta branch so far? I really enjoy it. It's a lot better than 1.2. The performance is a hell of a lot better. I'm really enjoying that. The estate actions are really cool. It's not the biggest change in the world, let's be honest, but it is positive progress, and I can't really complain at that. Ambitious, sure. Conscript, you're a good child. Let's give you an expensive education. Oh, I forgot about our parliament. That's sad. But I used it to get our nobility satisfaction up, which is always good, because we can now perform a reduction. So we can take some money off them and get rid of their really terrible buildings. Now, hopefully they should be spending less on upkeep, but it doesn't seem to be having the biggest change as I'd expected yet. But we can always come back to that in the future. Now, yeah, urbanization is probably going to be our next port of call. Maybe some more lumber mills. I mean, they are always going to be valuable. Why not? Let's do it. Our bones are very cheap at the moment. Our tax base is going up. How are our bog iron smelters doing? Are they still struggling to find people? Not really, actually. They are. There's a good few of them that are starting to employ people, which is nice. Our iron supply has come up significantly. Now, our demand is... They're pretty much all going into our tool industry, which will be good for the economic cycle. But if we make more, they'll start to be exported, which will obviously be ginormous for us. We've got an unmarried child. Do we want anyone? Is there anyone good that we can actually get a PU or something? Not really. I think we're going to have to play the long game with France. Keep taking the stuff in our east that we want to, and grow our economy so that when we have the ability to strike, we are able to. We'll get some more tool guilds coming out. Why not? We've got our iron coming in, right? So we've got a lot of availability to do so. We'll keep going on the bog iron smelters, but obviously population is a bit of an issue for that. One of the issues with having two markets is obviously you can only migrate from one market to another. So it's probably worth actually deleting this market just to allow us to migrate our pops from one side to the other. And I think I'm on board with that. So let's delete the second market. Destroy it. What's it going to cost us? A lot of stability and prestige, I believe, if I remember right. Not the Bruges market. Destroy. I think I've got to hover over it. Yeah, 40 stab and 20 prestige. It's going to be costly, but I think it's going to be worth it. So now we're on one big market, which is nice. So all of our people are on one side. So hopefully, as these big core industries come up on our coast, they will start being filled with migration, actually have the people to get some value out of it. We'll get some tar kilns going, probably in Den Haag, but they are actually full in terms of their market. So I think we'll go down here. Why not? I don't want to go for 6. We'll just go for 3 and we'll see what we can accomplish. Now, is there anything in the east we want to make? So we've done a lot of bog iron smelters, so maybe some charcoal kilns could be good. Let's just quickly check if we can do any fancy buildings. No, we can't. So maybe some more charcoal kilns. So we'll get a few here. Why not? A few here as well. And just do it where we have the manpower. We want to get our production efficiency up as high as possible. But we don't want to have big people shortages that we can't really fill for a long time. Now, are we down harbour administration yet? No, we're 75% of the way. Which it would stop if we fell below 50 naval. So we are still progressing towards naval, which is nice. And it does give some insane bonuses anyway, especially as we start trading a lot. Speaking of, it's probably a good idea to get some marketplaces up and running, as we're going to be exporting a hell of a lot. So, and we've got a good value in it, in the raw good of iron, right? If we are an iron farm, oh no, that's a problem. Do I break my alliance with England here? This is a major problem, because obviously I just accidentally murdered our standing army, right? Now, that gives us more income, but it means that we can't fight on our own accord. Who is Anglia at war with? Is it just France? Oh no, they've got Castile. Okay, let's join. We'll be careful. We'll sit behind our forts and we'll see if we can get some stack wipes. Please attach to us, our lovely vassals that are obviously going to support us. Have they come instantly into the war? It looks like it. So let's get our levies up and running. We'll pull back here. If we ever do rejoin the Bruges market fully, we're going to want as much market advantage as possible. So getting as many marketplaces up and running is always going to be good. Our navy's just been wiped, unfortunately. I do hope that doesn't hurt our naval as we try and push to... Yeah, it will. Let's try and push that while we get harbour administration. I keep accidentally leaving my navy out in war, and it's annoying me because the ships are so expensive in this update. So even if you only make 2, like, it's a lot of money. Like, look at that. If you want to make a bark, it's 200 ducats. Like, Jesus. Now, I do agree with that, obviously. I do really think that slowing down the game is a great thing to do, but it's a lot. We need a new cabinet member. Is there anyone who is in the Crown estate who would be decent? Our heir? I mean, he's not very good. I mean, you've got a good military skill. Yeah, let's see if we can do you. And we'll put you on stabilize the country, get you doing something good. And then you can be on developing that province. The more development we can get early on is going to give us some gigantic economic advantages. Yeah, we are really heavy over our Diplo relation cap. I'm not really sure why it's fallen so much. Because diplomatic spending doesn't affect it anymore. So even if I put up our Diplo capacity, it doesn't increase it. So unless there's something I'm ignoring for why we are so heavy over, we might just have to end an alliance because we are taking some serious reductions from it. But if we get rid of our alliances, are we going to be in problems with dying to a certain Big Blue Blob? Probably. So we're going to have to keep probably a big war chest for mercenaries if we ever need them. But England doesn't seem to be our strongest warrior at the moment. They just seem to be a bit of a war dog to beat the French if need be. So I think we might be forced to get rid of our alliance with England after this war and just stick with Bohemia. But then that's a risk in itself because Bohemia is allied to France. So that would set us up for a defensive war because they're stronger than England, right? But it wouldn't help us if we decided to attack France, which is a big problem. What is the credit tab? Let's decide our upcoming researches and then we can have a look at that. We could push down for fort limit because that's a problem for us at the moment. Toll castles. We'll go for maritime trade advantage. Now we're getting quite a lot of these stuff. We'll go for navy morale. Anything else? I mean, we'll go for bureaucratic offices just to get the good law. Polders, why not? Trade range, entrepots, shore power knot canals, and max literacy, absolutely. And after that, diplomatic range. Well, we need diplomatic capacity. We'll go for pop promotion speed. That's always good when you're trying to play tool. Chanceries, sure, and that should sort us for this age. Now, let's keep going on the marketplaces. I think they're going to be quite profitable. Let's do it in our core regions though, rather than just spits and sparks. Yeah, the French are starting to come for us. That's a lot of levies though, but we would just die to them because we've only got 10k. We just sort of need to wait it out. Let our pop try and outgrow the French on this tiny little island. Let's get our coalition over and done. If we can't rely on our allies anymore, we can't have some of these problems as well. So let's get them over and sorted. It is steep, isn't it? But we are having problems. A bit of a mistake by my part in deleting our army, but we are in trouble, and we need to see if we can survive. And this is what I meant by we are at threat by France. And I hope you can see what I meant by it now, because we can't even spam very many forts because we're already near our fort limit. What we need to do is try and get to a kingdom rank. Now, we can't do that because we are in the HRE. I think we have to ask for a certain privilege. Yeah, cannot become kingdom. Let's take the clergy privileges. Why not? It's a diplomatic action with the emperor. Request kingdom title. But we just don't own enough of certain locations. Like, we could maybe go for the Kingdom of Burgundy or Lotharingia, but we're still quite far away from that. Yeah, Bohemia, Lotharingia. We have 7 areas. Lorraine, Wallonia, Brabant. Yeah, this is the one if we were going to go for one. If we were to form a new country, yeah, it doesn't even say that Lotharingia is an option. Is there like a kingdom title map mode? Let's have a look. Country disposition. It doesn't show up as a formal nation, so. But we know we're not there yet. Even though we do have quite a few of the areas. Yeah. France is being a bit scary, but they're seemingly going after our other war enemies at the moment. But the problem is, in this last war we were called into, we actually lost territory. And we'll probably end up losing this city. Just for the benefit of trying to help our allies. We just don't have a strong enough levy base. Like, our population is just tiny. And there's only so many people we can bring in. Now, I'd love to kill Flanders, obviously. The best thing for us is if they would defect to England. It just doesn't seem like it's happening. Let's build up that spy knock on France. We can try and make Flanders disloyal and see if we can flip them. But I don't have any hope for that, really, if I'm honest. Let's go for a CB on France. Be good if we could try and befriend them. But they did abandon us last session, which is quite sad. Yeah, there's no way even though they have full levies, we've only got 1 unit of cavalry, so there's no way we'd win that battle. We just got to try and be a bit of a pain in their arse. Like, England just isn't even leaving their continent. Like, if they came to our forts here and fought us here in one unified front, we'd actually have a chance. But it's just the AI. The AI will not do that. Let's get some chain skills in Brussels. Why not? Try and make the city as specialised as possible, but have everything rather than one key industry. We'll go for some more tools as well. Why not? Oh, we're in trouble. Let's run away. Let's hide behind our fort line. We invested a lot of money into it for a reason. We better use it. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hi, it's good to see you, Latter. Thank you for being here. What is the difference between a fiefdom and a vassal? And what should I use? Well, fiefdoms are a lot better because they are your king, which means it's a lot easier for them to change into a dominion if you want it, which is a very good vassal type. They're less of a risk because they don't have their own ruler who wants to continue rebelling. And each vassal type has a certain amount of different buffs and debuffs. If I show you, manage subjects. So fiefdom, you've got a different strength impacts, but I believe it's the same as a vassal. Yeah, in terms of the vassal, right? If you go to the bottom here, they push you decentralized. You get a base embrace institutions. They give you some economic base, and they've got a bad cabinet. Fiefdom is similar sort of values. They get extra loyalty, but they even more reduced cabinet efficiency, and they're not blocked from conversion, but they spread a lot of institutions. So fiefdoms spread more institutions, they're more loyal, and they have your own ruler. That's the big difference, and that's why I prefer fiefdoms. But something that's really important to know is that if you have a lot of vassals, then it really matters with the balance between them, because they scale up their disloyalty per vassal type. If I show you here. So the County of Artois has a certain combat strength of all fiefdoms versus Overlord, whereas vassal is combat strength of all vassals versus Overlord. So if you have all your vassals in different types, like personal unions, like dominions, like vassals and fiefdoms, you can have 4 times as many vassals than if you just use one vassal type, because they tick up their disloyalty separately. Now the French are coming for us again, so we're going to run away. We'll take the prestige hit. We are minus 55. We just need to stop them occupying our provinces if at all possible. But we just don't have a big enough army to fend them off. Even if we had our big professional army, we still probably wouldn't. Just because quantity and filling up that frontage is so important. And that's why we were going to go for a levy run. A mercenary run, but we're not having much success with that at the moment. Let's see if we can get any protected harbours on our coast. They're quite a good little building. Let's do it. They are quite expensive, but they can be worth it. Hey, how's the game going compared to 1.2.5? What I dislike most is the scaling cost of buildings. Well, it's all about slowing the economy down. And whilst it may feel hard in the early game, it means the game is much more viable as you get later on. Because in previous patches, if we just sat here and scaled our economy and outscaled France by 1,500, you just win the game, right? You can have a bigger professional army. You can have a lot more mercs, especially in 1.2, right? They just can't do anything to stop you. Whereas if you have a slower economy, it means that levies are more important, as you can't just rely on your spamming mercs or a professional army. It means that there's more challenge. A single player is more viable because you're not just going to outscale the AI. You actually have challenge with the AI. And that's something that's really important for me. Now, are these levies, or are we going to get cooked if I try and attack you? I mean, we can have a look. Let's put the cavalries on the flank, even though we've only got one unit of it because I accidentally deleted it because I'm an idiot. Would I lose if I attacked you? I would. Let's not do that then. But I would get that 49. Let's go and kill them. We could do some Scorched Earth. That's very, very strong in the current patch. We can invite a foreign cleric. Oh, we just rescued them. Lovely. We won a battle. Yeah, our Diplo relations is so high. It might just be worth getting rid of England, to be honest. Or we could go for some mercs and we can try and win this ourselves. That's the other option. But it would be expensive. And I sort of want to keep developing our economy. Like, what is our Bog Iron economy looking like at the moment? But they're starting to fill up, which is nice. As they get people into it. Our coal market, we are currently undersupplied, so we're going to need to make some more charcoal, but we can definitely do that. Let's let the game keep ticking while we work on that. Let's keep our economy in our base. We've got our forts in a little bit of a nice circle, so it shouldn't really cause us many issues, but we definitely do need some more charcoal infrastructure. Let's go here. You're right next to our capital, but we're going to obviously have to get some people to migrate into it. And personnel is already our issue. But that is why we got rid of the secondary market here. Because it now means that the people here without jobs can migrate to our cities and our big important infrastructure over here. And that should save us a lot of hassle down the line. Now we can obviously think about using our cabinet members to speed up this integration if we really want to. And I'm definitely not opposed to it. Do we not have a... Oh, we do have a production efficiency modifier here. But not from a RGO, which is sad. But it is right by our capital, so we'll get some good value out of it. But yeah, we could just think about like encouraging migration, right? So we can do encourage migration here and fill up these industries as fast as possible. Just to fix this charcoal shortage. Yeah, negative 70% war score with France. They've taken a few casualties, but England's taken the vast majority. I do wish England would just peace out now. But there's only so much we can do to influence that, unfortunately. I love the country balls in the stream thumbnail. Hey, I appreciate it. I actually enjoyed making the thumbnail. Which is, yeah, I'm not an art guy, so it was quite fun. Thank you for subscribing as well, mate. It's good to see you. I think that increasing your Diplo spending increases your Diplo cap. Unfortunately, not in 1.3. It's quite sad. I think I'm really struggling because it was in our last session, it was near 8. So I don't know why it's gone down so much. But I believe it's because our ruler changed. So if you see here, ruler diplomatic ability is a big modifier. And we've only got 33 Diplo. So if we manage to kill this guy off, which I'd love to do, it would make our life a hell of a lot easier. Have we got harbour administration come through? Yes, we do, which is always nice. It's probably worth us getting another ship, though, just so we can have our ruler with at least one tiny chance of death. I would love that. Now, Antwerp is under siege, but there's absolutely nothing we can do to relieve it at the moment with 33,000 people on it. Luckily, it's still a fortress town for now, so it should hold its own for a little bit. We're just going to be a little bit careful and try and cut off their reinforcements as they come in. That would be some good battles for us. Yeah, we'll win this battle here. Nice. Hopefully get a stack weapon somewhere. No, we'll go and chase back that tiny little army. We obviously can't go anywhere near that 25k. We might have had a tiny chance if I didn't mess up and destroy our army. But we caused ourselves a little bit of an issue there. Hi, Tony. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the support. Yeah, thank you for tuning into the stream. I've started enjoying streaming a lot more, so apologies for the tech issues we've had with this one. I don't know why they've stopped working. I've essentially experimenting with some multi-streaming, some different plugins and stuff, but it's all issues that can be troubleshooted. Oh no, we're in trouble. Please let me retreat. I mean, we're actually holding our own, surprisingly, in terms of kill rate. Nothing more than that. Yeah, that's bad. We can't afford to lose these pops. Let's keep using our diplomats to get rid of our coalition as soon as possible. So let's go for you guys. The county of Mark, why not? And then we can, once our big truce have expired, we can go and take some more of our primary culture places. But we do need to start thinking about urbanization and what we can do in that respect. So you would probably be a good starting town because you've got a really high harbour capacity. Your grasslands, your wetlands, so we can keep the bog iron smelters. It's a food RGO, so it's not really going to cause us any issues for reducing the cap in it. And you're in our capital province, so you've got some good proximity to some decent RGOs. Can we just end this war, please? Oh, was that a cabinet member? No, just a random member of our nobility. Yeah, this galley should be done soon. We can then put our king as a admiral, which will allow us to hopefully give him an increased chance of dying because he is abjectly terrible. I would really love her to be our next ruler, but it's going to be one of our heirs. Now, we could think about getting rid of our nobility's right to inherit, which is giving us a considerable buff to our stability investment at the moment. So why not put some money into it and try and get that back up? Speaking of, we've got some estate actions. Let's see if yes, appeal to the commoners. This in 1.3 is overpowered. 20 stability every few years is just mental. So definitely do that if you can do. Can we steal any more money off our burgers yet? No, we can't do, but we can potentially do later on. Let's just keep up the hustle. Now, how is our little economic spiral going? So our tax base is doing all right. We've gone up a little bit, but we're still not making as much iron, I don't think, as I wanted to. Yeah, we're still negative. Our supply is still quite low. Now, we've obviously got some occupation issues with this war at the moment. Now, but is it just manpower that is stopping our bog iron smelters from being viable? I mean, I can try subsidising them on a national level to keep them going, even if they don't have manpower. Yeah, it's just getting these migrations done. So getting the people into our charcoal industry over here will be quite useful as well. And you could always think about doing some like market villages and stuff as well. But I think we'll start urbanising will be our next step. Because urbanising will create some more demand into our economy as well. Let's go for centralised offices, push down centralisation as much as possible. For being such a tiny, tall country, this is obviously going to be the best one for us. Let us advance our army a little bit and see if we can pick any stragglers off. What trait have we got? Army tradition prestige. That's not that good. Yeah, the AI is just reacting to our army getting closer, which is nice. Stopping sieges. I want to limit as many of our provinces being occupied as possible, as it will stop them taking them in the peace deal, as we're a secondary participant. Castile has lost their entire army, as has England. So the war should hopefully end soon, because we aren't carrying this. France is just too overpowered. We just need it to end, and we need to not take any damage for it. Let us start urbanising this province. That's what we were planning on. Yeah, the harbour capacity will really carry us here, and that's the main reason why we're doing it as a big city. It's really high control as well, right next to our capital, so it should be a good one. I mean, let's see if we can occupy a few provinces. If we get ourselves a white peace, that'd be quite nice. Do we want to invite a foreign cleric? I mean, we've got some very bad cabinet guys for admin, so we could think of doing that. But I think I'll save up our thing until this guy dies. Because it's not the worst thing in the world if we do have a member of our clergy in our cabinet, because their influence is so low. So it really doesn't cause us any problems. Let's yoink you. 319 kills, why not? I do want to do as much damage to them as possible. Oh, we need to go and try and relieve that siege in the north. 28%. Please get there in time. Oh no, that's bad. Actually, we could maybe fight that. Let's try it. It's on a fortress town, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Now, let's run away again. Bit of guerrilla warfare at the moment, I do know, but we just need to try and wait them out. the longer we can survive, the more damage is being done to England if we ever wanted to go after England. And more importantly, though, France. They've got 11,000 regulars now. Like, what are we meant to do about that one ultimately? Yeah, let's run away again. Our little guerrilla warfare is working. I do wish we actually had our regulars that we spent so much money on, but that is entirely my fault. Yeah, the Holland experience in a nutshell. France declaring with a 10-2 ratio. It is insane, isn't it? But what can we do about it? How is Bohemia doing in this patch? Let's have a look. So they've got a tax base of 573, which is just shy of France's. They've got quite a few less regulars. And obviously they've still got these insane RGOs. And they've upgraded them, but they do cost a lot to upgrade in this day and age. So maybe that's why their economy is straggling behind France a bit, but they are keeping up. So it's not like they've been completely outscaled. Any good RGOs we could get, just to keep every sort of thing in our economy going that we can. Horses, sure, why not? Yeah, let's keep trying to find these straggling armies that are going around. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's bad. Hope don't get stack wipes. Oh no, that's a problem. Can we peace out now, please, England? Like, what are we gaining from this other than I'm just getting eaten? This is not very fun, guys. Let's get this over, please. Just end it. I mean, we could peace out separately, but I would rather not do that. I didn't mean to move into that province. There's a big issue in 1.3 that the armies often don't show in the province that they are in. And yeah, that sort of cooks us there a little bit. There we go. That's at least one battle won. Keep the guerrilla warfare going. If they're going to do some damage to us, we'll do some to them. Oh, we got our parliament, which is nice. We will go to Antwerp again, and we'll get balance the budget, which is lovely. Or develop the interior. That's actually a big change, because develop the interior is really strong. That 40% buff to your construction efficiency is absolutely insane, but we would lose hub administration if we did it. So let's definitely go balance the budget. Now, I don't think we have any loans, right? We did pay off our government debt, but it just means we can max mint for a while, get lots of money coming in through the doors, and use it to build up our economy. There's a lot going on, but unfortunately, when you're so reliant on the AI, there's not really much we can do. That's just why we need to get the mercenary fund up. So get our economy as big as possible, so we can get those mercenaries and we can achieve what we want to. England trying to get the Netherlands eaten is absolutely diabolical. Absolutely. It's mental. Let's scorch earth quickly and see if we can escape. Yeah, we can. Lovely. They're really trying to murder me, and I wish... What? Oh my god. It did say we were going to get out of that. That's sad. Yeah, and we can't even call Bohemia in because we're not the primary participant. We just need them to end this war. Come on, guys. Do us a solid, please. But yeah, we are in trouble at the moment. We'll take in the Frisian exiles. I do hope they don't take too much land off us. But obviously, the only good thing is if they take those land from us, we can form a coalition against them. Ryberg wants a royal marriage. Absolutely not. But we do have a diplomat that's about to come available. And our truce with our previous coalition should be pretty close to expiring as well. We can get the unique polder buildings coming up soon as well, once we get them researched. Let's have a look and see if there's any new marriages we can get. Ooh, Austria? Now that's good. 19th and 20th in line for the throne is less good. Hesse? You're not in line for the throne. No, I guess we'll just do Austria. If we can get an alliance of Austria and Bohemia, that could be better than the pesky Brits that are doing nothing for us at the moment. Can we just peace out a white peace? Offer tribute. Yeah, I don't want to give them anything. I could give them this city here, but it would only be 5 antagonism. And I'd rather keep this city if it's all possible. Just because it's giving us some value. It's quite built up. He is only a vassal though. But it would stop them taking anything else from us. And I would quite like that. That's something to think about if they do ever come back to us. They've left us at the moment, so we're not in immediate threat. Oh, what, did we lose anything? No, I think we're okay. England just lost a lot of their vassal stuff. Right, I'm abandoning England. They're just trying to kill us. Oh, France wins the 100 Years' War. That's not interesting sound effects on that one. I don't know if, I hope that came through on the stream. They could if they wanted to, but France would have to occupy my provinces for them to do so, if that makes sense. Because they didn't have anything occupied in the end, they couldn't take anything from us, which obviously we're very happy about. Where else do we want some cities? What about natural harbours? Rotterdam is clay. It's got a lot of charcoal kilns, so it might reduce it if we founded a town there. Dordrecht is already a city, sorry, a urban location. We could actually think about just doing some flat cities rather than use just urban locations as well. That could be viable. This wheat province is min-max as well. The sand isn't. We could think about going to Breda. Breda is probably a good place for our next town. It's right next to our capital as well. And obviously, the more towns you get, the more unique buildings you get. Like those libraries, like the unique industries you can make. It's very, very good. Free prestige, yes, please. When is our next parliament? Oh, we're currently in our parliament, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Oh, that is a fact. So do we want minus 2.5% inflation, or do we want a CB on someone? Now, our truce is 4 years away. To be fair, we can probably wait, actually. Let's stop improved relations with Cologne. Our stab investment is really high, so our tax base is doing quite well at the moment, which is nice. We just need to get people into these new industries we've developed quite a lot into. We'll go for a new bog iron smelter there. Why not? And you here as well. If you're urbanizing, you're going to have some good abilities to get some extra migration, which is always nice. I think our consolidation of the market has worked out for us. We've got quite a strong market. We've got a big tool issue though. Now, that's that we need to get some new tools up. I'm guessing though that's because of our iron crisis. So what's our iron shortage still? It is, I think we're importing. Yeah, we're still importing a hell of a lot. So we just need these bog iron smelters to get done. We can invite foreign cleric. We could try and do a marriage. Well, let's have a look at the marriages we can get. Sixth in line. You might just be good joining our cabinet, actually. Giving you cabinet rights. Let's do it. There we go. And that means we don't have to waste our religious influence inviting a cleric. We can just get our full crown estate in. So we've got 3 members of our crown estate in our cabinet, which is great for our crown power. And for a trade economy, this is especially important because your crown power determines the percentage of trade income that you actually get yourself rather than just going to your estates. Are there any other estate actions we can go for? We'll just take some more money from our burghers, I guess. 5 diplomats. I mean, that can actually be quite useful, but I don't want to piss off our nobility. Let's do it because I want to get rid of our coalition. So let's go to antagonism again. Let's just reduce it as much as possible. If it's tiny, it's not the end of the world. But the problem is if they declare war on us, then we can't get a good CB on them. And that's what I'm actually worried about. There we go. And we can stick our Diplo investment up a little bit just so we keep generating despite the big investment. We'll get rid of you. That'll save us a little bit. But our economy is doing so well at the moment. But we do need to get off of minting now. Balanced budget is done. So anywhere else we want to urbanize, but this legumes province could be quite good. So could Rotterdam. I think we'll do Rotterdam. It's on the coast. Hopefully we don't lose too many charcoal kilns. That would be a problem. But it's not the end of the world if it is. Now, we do want to keep going on the bog iron investment though, because we need to get our iron up as fast as possible. So is there anyone who actually has manpower? Well, there's a few who are close. So we'll do some investments into that. Have we finished our migration here? No, we're still actually building up the provinces. So Den Haag, we could go to a city in Den Haag actually. If we make some more bog iron here and we just encourage migration to you. I don't think we can do it in our capital, sadly, but it's not the end of the world. Welcome to the stream, everyone who's joined recently. Thank you for being here. If you wouldn't mind pressing that subscribe button or follow button if you're on Twitch, that'd be most appreciated. Lacking tools. Yeah, we do need to get our tools up and running again. Do we want any more fibrous crops actually in the meantime? Antwerp. Yeah, why not? Our industry does seem to be a little bit reliant on it at the moment. Our horse industry, though, isn't. I'm guessing that's because we've put so much value into our horse RGO. It's just sort of providing enough value for all of us. That's sort of why we need more marketplaces, though, so we can have these surpluses and we can export them around the world rather than just being reliant on them. Now our armories are still, I believe they're still fully shut, which is nice. So we've got one on, which is okay. It sort of meets the demand for a one professional army, but I'm definitely all in on the mercenary route at the moment. We just need to get as much money coming through the doors as possible, and then we can get as many mercs coming through the doors as possible. But for that, we're going to need more tools, rather than keep making more lumber. But as you can see, we're building up this economic spiral all at the same time. We are doing all of the sides of it, whether it's urbanization, to charcoal kilns, to bog iron smelters. We're doing all at the same time, so we can get the overall growth, rather than just creating big shortages that are going to eat us in the butt later on. And we'll get some more tools, of course, because getting more tools will make our bog iron smelters much more profitable, as it's more demand for the iron as well. But this industry is a bit of a long-term investment, because iron isn't really an issue until everyone starts urbanizing, because there's just frankly not enough iron in Europe. So we will be making bank once that mid-game economic cycle comes in. But long-term planning is always a good thing in this sort of game, right? Spinners Guilds, we want any more of them? We're about to get some new urban locations. We've got 3 towns being made, which is always nice. We'll cut our expenditure down a little bit. I don't want us to be wasting money unnecessarily. Have we broken that alliance with England yet? I believe we did, right? Yeah, we did. So how far are we into our diplomatic alliance? So we are 3.5 over to 5.4. So could we think about getting another alliance? Is there anyone who wouldn't bankrupt us diplomatically wide? I mean, Milan? How much would Milan cost? 2.5. I think Denmark is the obvious option though, isn't it? Denmark is 1. Yeah, we'll do Denmark. So we should be, well, we're not, we'll still get battered if France decides to attack us solo. But that's why we need to get this economy up as fast as possible. Now, if we could find a way to tax our burghers more, that would be brilliant. But I think the problem is their influence is just so high. So we could try and dilute their influence by reducing the privileges of our other estates. Or get additional crown power, that could be good too. Now, we're going to have a lot of options for that as we get further in. Oh, scriptoriums are quite profitable now. That's interesting. But I do think we just keep focusing on the spiral we're going for at the moment. Because we haven't got any lumber RGOs, our overall profitability is quite low. Yeah, we just keep building up. The migration will get there in time. As long as we have free mobility for the common people, which we should do, right? Let's just check. Here we do. There we go. They can migrate wherever they want, really. Free money from the Pope? Yes, please. I'm not going to say no to that. Are there any good RGOs we would like? Livestock? It's not going to be that valuable. Albeit, it's apparently a very profitable industry in our country. I'm surprised at that. I think just more buildings in these new towns are going to be quite viable. They've got wool RGOs, so Spinners Guilds are going to be very, very profitable in them. In both of them, actually. And we could probably think about doing the Flemish cloth industry here. Because we can just make it a sort of a localized spinner and cloth industry. Specifically in this town of Bergen, because we've got a lot of the subsequent industries over there we don't want to get rid of. We'll try it out and we'll see if we can make it profitable. I don't like how low the production efficiency is for this sort of investment, but once we get to the third age and we get the cloth industry and we combine it with this urban, right, in cities, it's going to be very, very valuable for us. Will you form the Republic of the Netherlands? Well, we're the Duchy of the Netherlands at the moment. We do need to get to a republic if we want the Dutch Republic bonus. But for that, we need 95 plutocracy. Well, we could start working on that, to be fair. It's not a bad idea. It would just cost us an arm and a leg. But I'm not opposed to it, actually. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's get our navy in the sea. We're going to get our maritime presence up as fast as possible. Let's get the unique buildings in our new towns as we're building our economy up. So we'll start at libraries and see what we can go from there. Do let me know, by the way, in the chat if you can actually hear the stream. We've had some tech issues, so I do hope you can. Otherwise, that would probably ruin your day a little bit. You've got to have the right sound going. You can get the building efficiency and fail the parliament to get the land. Yes, you can. For that specific parliament issue, it's very, very useful. But balance the budget is obviously like one of the most overpowered ones in the game. Now, our tax base is doing very, very well. And it's only going to get better as our people finally migrate to fill these bog iron smelters we're making. So, You've actually got a lot spare in Rotterdam, so we can probably invest in you there. Spare people is always nice, considering the circumstances. We can go for a sand pit is apparently quite profitable, but we've got a sand RGO, so why don't we just invest in that instead? Let's get our cloth industry up over here. We want these new towns to be very viable. Have you got a library queued? Yes, you do. Now, a big question for you guys is, do we think temples are viable at the moment? Temples obviously used to give max control. Now their effects have been changed a little bit. It's still good demand in the economy, and I'm still on the team of let's build them, but they're nowhere near as viable as they used to be, definitely. Jewelers guilds we could go for, but apparently quite profitable. I think tools is the big priority though, isn't it? But we can maybe get 1 or 2. We want to keep the base industries going. I did not see the start, but the France war is not kind of too early and bad. Yeah, I mean, France. That's why we're at threat, right? We're not looking to invade France at the moment until we're strong enough. But if they're going to keep invading us, then we're in trouble, and that's why we're at risk. Let's just get as much money coming in, though. We need, if we are ever going to fight France, we're going to have to do it through mercenaries. That's how we will win a war against them. Let's do a... Do we want to do a pilgrimage somewhere? I mean, we could do a pilgrimage to Cologne. Why not? Get some religious influence coming in. We've got the money for it. Let's keep our spinners guilds being upgraded. We've got some good RGOs in this province, so we can make some proper specialised cities here. And that will really help us in the mid-game. But we just need this iron shortage to be fixed. But we will get there. How are we looking on that front, actually? Well, our tools have rebounded. A lot of that seems to be importing, though. Yeah, a big import from France. Iron. So if we've got tools, I believe we've got lumber. Let's just check. We do have lumber. Maybe not enough. I would like some more. There's not much lumber in these sort of areas, unfortunately. But we've got a lot of lumber mills. So it's sort of meeting our demand for lumber. So we could think about some more lumber mills. I would like some high-level ones, actually. So we can get that production efficiency up without economies of scale. But obviously the big one that we want is the iron. Now, what is our iron shortage? Still -3. And we are importing, so it's actually -6. Oh my god, our terrible king is dead. Lovely. So, let's think about the urban rights we want to give out. So, Breda, you can be Flemish cloth industry. Do we want that in Rotterdam as well? Is there a good RGO here? I mean, there's dyes that invest in that. Because we're so tiny. Ooh, Denmark have guaranteed us. That's nice. We've got some really good control over our provinces. Apparently we don't. Yeah, a lot of it's just going through Flanders. We do need to take Flanders, but France being so big is a proper issue for us. Who are they in a PU with? They're in a PU down here. Interesting. That's always a new one. But look, but we've got the HRE protection at minimum, right? So France, if they do attack us, it could actually be beneficial for us because it would mean that we can fight them off well and truly in our own right. Now, our heir is this guy. He is gifted. So getting an expensive education on him will be very, very viable. I think I'll move you to a admin education just for the people we want in our cabinet. Now, are there any of our siblings that have got kids that we want to do something with? Now, you're also gifted, so giving you that sort of education would be viable. We'll give you a break. You can be, so you're a slow. We'll put an expensive education on you, but so I'm not going to refund that. What about our younger brother? He's had no kids yet. Neither have you, but you haven't actually been married off, so maybe we want to change that. Are you our cabinet minister? Yes, you are. So we'll keep you in the family, if you will, and we'll give you to a noble. There you go. You can be with Alan de Montfort. Our heir is balanced education. Yeah, we want to get him on expensive. You are gifted too, which is lovely. Hopefully you get some really, really good stats. How are you enjoying playing a smaller country? Yeah, I like it. I like a challenge in this sort of game. Like, the two main reasons why I'd play single player is to either like learn a country for MP or get better for MP or for a sort of challenge. And the Netherlands has definitely been a challenge so far. I do think going for the Dutch Republic is a good idea. I wonder if you have a Dutch Republic event somewhere. I really wouldn't be surprised if they were, but obviously there's not much flavour in the game at the moment for individual countries. But it will come with time. charcoal kilns are apparently very, very viable at the moment. So let's get some new ones of them. Yeah, our coal supply is going a bit crazy. Let's find some new locations. So let's sort by income. We'll get a brand new charcoal kiln factory made here, and we'll do one in Eindhoven as well. We're basically making this our national industry. Just making a lot of bog iron for Europe and fighting the iron crisis ourselves. But we can make a very, very strong economy off it just because no one else has the levels of iron that we're going to be able to produce once we get it up to scratch. Let's just start with a few for now, and then we'll worry about the rest later on. We don't have to worry about specific provinces because we don't exactly have any lumber RGOs that we need to sort of plan around. Leiden, sure, you can have one. Actually, no, we'll go for somewhere that's got some manpower straight away, just to ease the deficit as fast as possible. There's a lot to go around. We don't have to stress. Did the stream die? Stream should still be up. If we've got any issues, please let me know. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Intrapot. Yeah, we definitely want one of them in our market centre, but God, that's expensive. Is that because we are over our building level cap in Den Haag? Yes, we are. So, if you're over the building level cap, we've got to get rid of some unprofitable buildings to make it viable. Now, Potters Guilds are always crap. Wineries we could get rid of. They're apparently not very good in our market. I mean, sure, why not? What else do we want to get rid of? Are there any specific crappy buildings down here, like granaries? Yeah, it's just not worth it if they're not doing anything. Let's do it. Lumber mills we want to keep. Scriptoriums. The armory we're not even using, so why not we get rid of that? Are we still over our building cap? We are, but by a significantly less bad level. I'm surprised the building cap is so low here, but it's only a town at the moment. It's not a city. But we do want that market centre. So we also probably want a market warehouse. So the entrepot will give us market attraction and trade capacity. 5 trade capacity is insane. And considering we're not managing to get all of our own provinces into our own market yet, that's going to be incredibly valuable for us. So we're going to save up the money for that. And it will cost us 323 now. So we've just saved ourselves about 200 ducats from deleting those buildings, which is incredibly valuable. But it's a long old way to go. Spinners Guilds. Yeah, we've got these new towns coming up to scratch, which is always nice. We'll try and get some new bog iron smelters here and keep that spiral going. The more we make, the more effective it will be. Because this is a clay RGO. It's actually a really underrated RGO because you can make masons and farming villages from it. So it's something that's actually really important for your game. But because it's a low value and a really low value at that, being 0.5 is often overlooked. Now our crown power is doing very well, 36%. Our stability investment, I think we can probably afford to cut it down soon enough. But let's worry about curtailing our nobility first. I wanted to get rid of that, albeit I guess it doesn't really matter now because the inheritance has already happened. But we do have we'll just leave the inheritance law like it is now. It's this guy is going to have good stats. Floris, he's 5 and gifted, so it shouldn't really cause us any problems. But do we want to give any more estate privileges out? Can we get, we can get 15 free legitimacy from our clergy if we want. So, communalism is good for us. Traditional is less. Clerical archives, what do they give? Max literacy and clergy power. That's not great. And it pushes us to traditionalist, which is obviously abjectly the worst value in the entire game. Like, no one invests in stability anyway. Cultural tradition is useless. Embrace institution cost, like, oh my god, no. We want to get away from that. So I think let's revoke religious literacy rights. Now, for our nobility, that one's fine. Serfdom isn't great, but it does buff up our armies quite a lot. And obviously with the France problem, we don't want to get rid of that. I think cutting our burghers down to size is probably the next one. Burgher land rights is terrible, but they're so powerful, which is the issue. We could perform a reduction on them to try and reduce their power a bit, but we could just firm it, to be honest. That's it. That's quite good. Yeah, burger land rights, getting rid of individualism. Oh, it's going to be expensive, but let's do it. Now, our stability cost is going to be expensive, but it's worth keeping up. Let's get some more diplomats going in. So antagonism, who could potentially join our coalition that we don't want to? Dortmund. Okay, let's get you out of here. The free city of Valkenburg is almost done, as is Essen, as is you. Lovely, that's some more diplomats coming in. Now, we've got some more money coming in, so do we want to make any more unique buildings? Now we can afford them. Counting houses we could do if we want to get our crown power up even higher. And we're such a small nation, it'd probably be viable. But let's start with the core ones first, like market warehouses. Anything else we can get in our capital? Local councils for even more crown power. Obviously, counting houses are much more viable than that. Do we want to condemn the papal states, go further to innovative, or go spiritualist? We obviously want to stay innovative. So sorry, Pope, but we're going to abandon you a little bit. And let's get these core industries going up. Because we've gone down the Flemish route, we can get a lot of building levels here. Now that's not just good because it gives us extra production efficiency. But obviously because our country is so tiny, we actually haven't got that many building levels that we can make for our core industry. So that's why it's so worth it. Even if it does give that gigantic production efficiency reduction, which means that our bog iron smelters in this particular province are less efficient than they should be. Now, we've still got this big coal problem, and the vast majority of it is being imported by our burghers. So let's see if we can make a few more of them and sort it out. I'm going to do some basic ones just to get the issue sorted in places where we actually have manpower, and we can worry about the rest in the future. Making them specialised and efficient is more of a problem for the mid and late game rather than right now. Humiliate people and get some prestige. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. Thank you for the Twitch message. It's good to see people active in that chat as well. We've just got to sort of get this coalition war declared on, and we should have the truce expired soon enough. Yes, we do. So where's our next parliament? 1 year. Okay, so it's actually 1 month. That's brilliant. So we can also do the polders building now. That's a unique one, and that gives some insane buffs. That monthly development one is brilliant. So we probably want to think about doing that. Be expensive to do in Den Haag, but let's start with the basics. Amsterdam. We'll go for 2 in Amsterdam. Why not? Get that sorted. We're still over our fort level, but it's okay. We want to keep that 1 diplomat. Yeah, max 1 diplomats at the moment, which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. We can always try and increase that later on. And we've got our parliament. Lovely. Now, pray for a good parliamentary action. That would be lovely. Shipbuilding. So getting some docks. Some cheap docks could be good, actually. Export trade. Promoting a member of the clergy. Increase ties to neighbours, giving us some more diplomats. Sponsoring a cathedral. I mean, this is the only way to get cathedrals now. You can't just build them yourself. So that could be quite good. Conversion speed, max literacy. And where would this be? In Den Haag. Yeah, let's do that. Unless we want standing regiments. No, we probably don't. Yeah, let's do a cathedral. Why not? We can lessen our levy obligations on our nobility, which shouldn't cause us any problems. But we do, yeah, we don't actually want the cathedral unless we can get it amazingly. What we do want is the CB, and that will be on Friesland. So now we can declare war on Friesland. That will call in you. Who is Minden? Jova. Yeah, we can call in Jova. And we want to get a few co-belligerents, just so we can spam some lovely humiliate wars if possible. Oh, that will cost us stability. Yeah, that's just not worth it. Let's just do a tiny war in Frisia. Get the land that should be ours anyway. We'll summon our levies. Because all of this, we should be able to get cored, which should be brilliant for us. Or we just give it to our vassal, and they can core it. Speaking of, how is our vassal doing? Oh, our navy died again. I'm so terrible at putting my navy in the port when we go to war. It's just so expensive. We're wasting so much money on it. Take the prestige, sure, and let's just go and wipe them out. It really shouldn't be too hard. Let's get our 2 new spinning cities up and running as well. We're building a lot of buildings there, but it should be worth it. We just need to find more people. We could actually think about inviting settlers from countries if we really need more population. Yeah, we just lost a lot of population as it's gone into the army, quite obviously. Let's just go and wipe them out, and we should win this war pretty quickly. Sort of missing when we had that gigantic coalition, but we have done a lot of effort into stopping it. Now let's split up our armies and just go and win this war really quickly. And then we should just be able to piece them out. Now, because our antagonism's gone down so far, we should be able to take a lot of land without any real penalties. I mean, they're still annoyed at us, Essen, which is annoying because I'd like to invade them. Nobility satisfaction or clergy. We'll take nobility. Saint proclaimed. Lovely. But what I will do is use this nobility satisfaction. So what we want to do is get rid of a privilege if we want to. Oh, but that's even more stability. Well, we could get rid of... Now, elite council is quite good for us, as is royal marriage rights. The only one is this right to inherit, but because we're spending much on so much on stability at the moment, it's not an issue. So we will... we could just do another reduction, to be honest. Yeah, let's do it. It'll make them hate us, but we want to get their estate building upkeep down as far as possible, because we need them to actually have some money. God, supply is awful in this patch. Look at it. It falls it's so fast. All the HRE law is coming in. The Imperial Register. For developing South Holland, that's a good point. Why is it showing as minus 0.10? Let's check it. Is it going down? So it's minus. So it's 25.84 now. All the hegemons are here. It is theoretically going up. 26.53. We'll keep an eye on it. If it's going down, that's really weird. Now for the Age of Discovery, what focus do we want to go for? So if we went down the admin focus, we get dynastic court, giving us cabinet efficiency. That's okay. Conversion speed, more conversion speed. Construction efficiency, that's really good. Mercenary payments, that would be really good for us. Cinnamon for integration speed, really good. Colonials, I don't know if we want to go down that route yet. 25% trade capacity, iron output, and even better construction efficiency. We're definitely going to go for this one. But what do the others do? Quest of the New World, that's all colonial, more colonial. Diplomats, not that great. Spies, not that great either. More spy stuff, yeah, that's a bit crap. Military would buff up our army quality. But if we're just going to go for mercs anyway, when you buy a mercenary, you get the army quality of the place that you're buying the mercenary from. So admin focus here is going to be insane for us. Lovely. Let's keep this war up and running. Let's push over to this flank here. Now, I don't know if I want to annex these guys. Do they have anything good? No, not really. Let's just try and piece them out and reduce our AE as much as possible. We need... Oh, we can't for 12 months anyway. Okay. But encouraging migration to Den Haag is no longer efficient for us. So, where do we want to go next? We could go to Breda. Antwerp. We just want to get our cities done. Oh, we can get a Diageo here. Yeah, I think we'll just start working on getting Den Haag to be a city, to be honest. Getting a city in our Dies province is going to be a lot of economic value for us, especially if we specialise it with a lot of tailors' guilds and a printing economy, as we get into this Age of Discovery. What we want to rush here is the urban rights, because that will allow us to specialise our economy. And you get urban rights in borough privileges, which is here. So we really want to rush printing press. Can we spawn any of these institutions? Possible locations it can appear in. We don't have any cities, so no. Pike and Shot. Doesn't look like that either. I'm guessing it needs a city as well. Yeah. New World. No, it's only going to be in Sevilla. Welcome everyone to the stream. If you joined recently, it's good to see you. Apologies for the earlier tech issues, but we're getting back to strengths. If you wouldn't mind subscribing or following, it'd be much appreciated. Good to see people active on both YouTube and Twitch as well. We are currently trying to build up our economy as fast as possible. And we're going for a bit of a weird one, that we're going for a really heavy on bog iron smelters economy. The bad thing about this region is that it's all pretty much wetlands, which means that you can build bog iron smelters, and that's the only big advantage of it. Let's get you out of this war. So humiliate you. I don't really want you as a vassal, but I would love some food access, and we'll take some money. And lovely. Get some prestige. That's always nice. Then for Jova, where are you? You're up here. Well, we could think about taking you. What's your RGO? Sand. We don't really need sand. Let's we'll definitely occupy Jova first before we piece them out. That'd be nice. But we'll see what we can do in that regard. Have you ever played the hit 2018 game Among Us? No, absolutely not. Why would I ever play that? I think we all did. Fleet basing rights, anti-piracy, annulled treaties, humiliate, and some gold, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, developing South Holland is going up in its development, even though it says it's negative. I don't know why, but we're just going to ignore it. Stabilize country, we still want to do, get up as fast as possible, but we're going to move you to integrate as soon as we've entered this war, and we can do that now, to be fair. So we'll take Frisia here. That's going to be a lot of AE. And we'll take that for ourselves, as we can actually integrate it. But we'll give this bit to our vassal. Now, why can't we transfer occupation? Oh, because our vassal's not in the war. So we'll call you in. We will transfer occupation to you. You better like us. And then we'll give you that bit of land. Now, we're going to move our daughter onto... Where are we? Diplomatic endeavours. As we want to reduce our AE as much as possible. But we are about to get a mega coalition. We just need to be careful that France isn't in it. That's the only constraint we have. So if we took all this land, how much AE would we get? So we would get quite a bit, but actually wouldn't be as big a coalition as I'd expected. And France doesn't seem to have much of a opinion on it. So let's do this peace deal. We'll take a lot of land. Now, let's just check our vassal is still our culture. They are... No, they've moved back to Westphalian, which is really annoying. If they were a fiefdom, they couldn't do that. So we're just going to start integrating them, I think, once we get a diplomat. Now, let's start integrating our province. So, Friesland, lovely. We'll move you on to change societal values. I think if it's a good one we can go for. We could go for outward versus inward. And I think if we're not going to go colonial, inward is probably the play. But outward is quite good because it lets you integrate provinces a lot faster and gives you diplomatic capacity. Maybe we do want to go outward just for the Diplo cap to beat France. Ooh, what do we think? What are we saying? Advise me in the chat. Are we saying outward or inward here? What do we want? What are we thinking? I haven't been eaten by the baguette yet. Nothing that dangerous. No, we're all right for now. Can we please not jinx it, though? I don't appreciate the jinx. Let's make some more charcoal guilds while we have a think. Are we saying outward versus inward? What are we saying? Do we want diplomatic capacity or do we want even more crown power? We can always come back to it later as we have a think. Let's just start pushing further into innovative for now. What's our fort cap? Oh, we're near our fort cap, which is nice. Let's get our guys back into the army. Now, do we want any fancy rivals? This guy here is probably a good one. They're a little bit tiny. Yeah, let's just get our levies back into our economy. We want that economic advantage coming straight back. And some even more charcoal kilns, please. We have a lot of lumber. We don't have a lot of charcoal. So please start making it. How much does one make? Yeah, it's just we just have problems with employment, aren't we? No longer a valid rival. Okay, not the end of the world. Jesus, France is starting to encircle us a little bit. I do wish Flanders would be independent. That'd be so cool. But to be fair, we only have to win one war, and then we're done with it. I guess we can put Oldenburg. Why not? Means we can get a CB on them. Start building a spy network, and we can always just feed the land to our vassal. Let's tick our Diplo spending up just for a few months so we can start annexing them. Inwards, you're addicted to crown power. No, that's not the worst idea I've ever heard. What do you think of the state off 1.3.2 versus the original 1.3? Well, it's so much better. I've said it a few times. The performance is so much better, and the estate actions are cool. The economy actually works, which is very different to the start of 1.3.2. If you haven't tried it yet, I'd recommend giving it a go. Why have we not got coastal forts here? I thought we built them. I guess we'll get our coastal forts up to scratch. One of my favourite buildings. But I do need to think about building a new navy as well. Oh no! I'm just going to keep forgetting it and getting it destroyed every single war, aren't I? That's always what's going to happen. All the military focuses suck because they do a little bit. But what can we do about that? We're still in privilege with these guys. Let's start annexing our vassal. How long is it going to take? A long time. 14 years. That's, to be fair, that's not that bad. good thing we started it early. And we can always reinforce our culture, but they will hate us for a while. Yeah, it's still limited desire from events, right? But you've changed your culture back. So what is the point? Location. I wanted location culture to get loads of our culture in these guys before we even had the chance to do it. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. But to be fair, we do have some room in our culture capacity and quite a lot of it. So we can always actually, to be fair, let's do it. We've accepted Frisia. That's fine. So if we annex these provinces, and we can accept Westphalian as well, which we seem to have. Lovely. And after that, we've got Walloon and this Franconian pocket here. Now, we obviously do want to get everything to be low Franconian eventually, but in the meantime, it's okay. The Picard culture wants to be kindred with us. Sure, why not? I don't mind using a diplomat on that, albeit it is costing our diplo spending a bit. So let's pull back on that for now. Let's pull back on our improved relations there. We've sort of got our coalition as low as we can already. We just need to keep focusing on our economy. We need to get this charcoal shortage over and done with. The printing press has spawned in Naples. Well, it's annoying it's not come straight to us, but it's not the end of the world. Do you have colonization plans? Not at the moment. We'll see what we end up coming with, but for the moment, I just want to build our economy up and get into a good place. We're up to 256 tax base, which is nice, but France is outscaling us quite considerably. We just need, but once we get this this bog iron economy sorted, we will be in the money. It's just we just don't have very many populations. We need censuses, and we need a lot of that. But as we've merged our markets together, it should be a lot easier of a prospect, really. Can we get any more bridges in our small little landmass? Not really. Maybe once we've annexed this vassal. Yeah, it's saying 27 years to annex this vassal. But if we enforced our culture on them, it would be a lot better. Do we want to mint a new coin? Yes, please. Gets our inflation down even lower, which is lovely. Stability investment is still worth doing. We are negative at the moment. Tools. Let's get some new tools going, I think. Have we got anywhere with a production efficiency modifier? Yes, we do. Lovely. Let's do it. New world in Sevilla, as expected. That's not too bad. What is the Polders building? I've never played Holland. Let's show you. It's quite good. It's a unique one. It's just an infrastructure building. It helps us develop our growth, more food production, more pop capacity. Essentially, just when you've got a lot of spare money and you want to build tool. It's pretty good. It's only on naval provinces, but yeah, it's very viable. We probably want to do want to get it on the places where we want cities, and that's obviously Den Haag, Amsterdam, Antwerp, etc., etc. It's just that we don't have the money for that at the moment. Let's cut back our fort maintenance after the war. Let's get our taxation regimes as high as possible. Lovely, lovely jubbly. I wish we could have like our unique government, but we need the Dutch Republic. We need the Dutch Republic reform eventually. Oh, we could go Admiralty regime as well. That would be cool. And we'd become a proper a naval country. Because we've obviously got to the third age, we've got a lot more government reforms available to us. So a lot more options. So if we wanted to change something like royal decrees, say, because we've got a lot of crown power now, what could we go for? So fixed vassal obligations. Admiralty, obviously. Joint ruling is the unique major reform for Holland. Of noble bearing. Yeah, or royal commissions for centralisation could be quite good, actually. But this one already gives centralisation, so I think maybe not. Yeah, I still want to get rid of this. Where is it? Capital economy. Or did we already do it? Market fairs could be quite good to get rid of. I think we already did it. Yeah, we got rid of the bad privilege here. But we do need to think about our values and when we start going to plutocracy, because it seems very, very good in comparison to aristocracy for what we are at the moment. What is pushing us to aristocracy at the moment? Aristocratic court. Well, we could change that in our next parliament. Central council, well, we don't really want to change. Right to inherit is the big one. But we do want to get rid of that eventually. It's just whether it's worth the stability investment at the moment. Probably a good step, though, is to start getting a few counting houses. Just to get our crown power up as much as possible before we start doing these big radical changes. But masonry we've got a big problem with. Let's subsidize our masons. And we can make a few more. So, is it Rotterdam? Yeah, let's make 4 masons in Rotterdam. Door deck as well. We'll do a few more. I want to constantly have the building cost reduction. We don't want to be overspending. And I could probably even make a few more, to be honest. Geertrudenberg, do it. Let's do it. Let's just make a lot of masons. So we've constantly got that building cost reduction. And we don't ever have any problems. So I think time for some more charcoal kilns. Seeming this is our economy at the moment. How is our bog iron smelters doing? The bog iron smelters are finally getting up to scratch, which is lovely. Now we're getting a hell of a lot of iron demand, and that's because our tools are finally getting up to scratch. So this means we need even more bog iron smelters. But that's fine. We've got a lot of wetlands, so it's not the end of the world. Welcome to the stream, everyone who's joined recently. It's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. Yeah, sorry for the earlier tech issues, but we're getting there. Scriptoriums we can start thinking of. We got enough in Den Haag, actually. We do want to make this to be a city. It's just everything is an opportunity cost. That's the economic principle of the money you spend could be spent better anywhere else. And at the moment, we've got a lot of options available to us. So very good options to spend anywhere else. Antwerpen, let's get the RGO here. It's our new capital. It might as well be min-maxed. We're almost full out on innovative, which is always nice. Den Haag, the migration's going quite well. We do want that to be probably our first city. And we can make it into a proper specialised one at that. And what I mean by that is we delete our other buildings and we go really hard into the dye cloth paper economy. So speaking of, let's start preparing for that and let's get our paper maker skills up to scratch. Actually, that's not worth it. It's not worth 80 before we've even got the building cap for being a city. Let's renege on that quickly. Have we got any more unique buildings? Libraries, let's just check. Libraries give really good demand for our entire economy. Sadly not. We could do temples though, that's what we were debating. Obviously we've also got universities now as well, which is quite significant. And we can request a new cardinal seat, and we'll do that down here. There we go, brilliant. Lovely. Let's start creating a CB in Oldenburg to humiliate, which is nice. Cancel our spy network as well. We will get there. And we just want to get this economy going up as fast as possible. Now, the only good thing is with our burghers, because they've got so much power, they've obviously got a lot of money to invest in our economy. So like tool guilds and roads and stuff like that. But we can always use our estate actions to steal some more stuff from them. And we absolutely will do, because I would like money. Now, our legitimacy is back. I'm guessing our stability is going to be back. Yes, there we go. Lovely. They really need to increase the cooldowns on these estate actions. They are abjectly insane. Now, our nobles are, as we've been reducing their estate buildings, their economy is hopefully going to start working soon enough, which is nice. If we were to make a city in Den Haag, how much would it cost? 1.9k. We need to get that down as low as possible. So what can we subsidise to get some big surpluses in these critical resources? So we need more lumber and more masonry. Well, we've got a lot of masons already queued. We could always do more lumber, as we are always going to have demand for that. Let's get some more of them going. Why not? Maybe not in Den Haag, because that collect. Blast furnace. If we can get blast furnace, God, our economy is going to go through the roofs. 75% increase in iron output. That would be insane. But that's what we've got to work towards. But there's a lot to go on that way. Yeah, our prestige still isn't great at the moment, but we need to get that up. And that's why we are not the leader of our Holy Roman Circle anymore. That was giving us some really good buffs. Nobility are allowed to build roads. That doesn't really help us. Request financial grant. 5 legitimacy, and they give us some money. I mean, that's really worth one. And noble satisfaction. Sure, why not? Make our nobility like us more. A lot of these actions just seem a bit like you press and you get reward. Especially with these estate actions. And whilst I like it from a game perspective, they do need to find a way to make it more challenging rather than just you press button, you get reward. Especially when people play the game on such a high speed. But we will get there. And our economy is going very, very well at the moment, so we can't really complain. Are you planning to go Lutherian? We could do, actually. I hadn't really thought about it. What do you guys think? Should we try a reformed religion when we get the opportunity? I think we probably should. There's a lot of flavour in it. And then the new Reformation situation, we'll be able to get it over to us pretty quickly. In my Holland game, it's pretty much constant coalitions. And as soon as I defeat them, they keep going. Improve relations. That's why we've been improving relations. Because it directly reduces your AE. And obviously, if you're such a small nation with a really good wealth tax-based ratio, you can get your Diplo spending up really cheaply, which means you can improve those relations really fast. That would be my suggestion. Now, what societal value do we want to push? Inward is crown power, but we've got a lot of it. Outward is power projection and Diplo cap. And I think for now, until we beat France, we want that Diplo capacity. So we're going to start pushing outward. We won't get that far down it, but any bonus to our Diplo capacity could really help us out. Welcome to the stream, everyone. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. I don't know why some of the stream tech isn't working, but I appreciate you all. We are currently working on a big bog iron economy. Now, we don't want to just focus solely on this, though. We do need to get some other buildings going up. So getting some fibrous crops in Antwerp could be quite good. Our economy is quite reliant on it. But we are getting quite close to our building cost limit. Maybe a hospital in Antwerp could be quite good. Oh, and temples. We do want temples, don't we? As we haven't got that many of them. Yeah, let's get our new cities upgraded with temples. These ones are the ones that we made quite recently. They've got a new urban right for the Flemish cloth industry. So we can get some very good economic value out of them. And especially as we get these the new urban rights that we can combine in the new era that's about to hit us. Sadly, we're quite far away from getting a megalopolis, which is obviously very overpowered, but it's not the end of the world. Now, because we've been doing quite a lot of migration recently, there might be some new RGOs we can get. Ah, yes, there are. Lovely. It's quite important, obviously, for any economic build in EU5 that you don't just focus on one side of the economy. And we could be quite easy to do that with our bog iron smelter economy that we are working really hard on. But don't forget the basics, like your RGOs, because they can be the core of your economy, really. Pop promotion speed, lovely. That's brilliant for us, as we trying to get as many of these bog iron smelters up to scratch as possible. But we are using a lot of our masonry. Maybe we need even more masons, to be honest. And before we start making cities, we need to get it as cheap as possible. I mean, we can make a few more. Why not? We'll spread it out like we did with the charcoal kilns, just to get it as fast as possible. It might not be profitable, obviously, but if it guarantees us the building cost reduction, then we're enjoying it anyway. Weasel, sure. I think that's enough. We've done quite a few masons, really. And we've worked so hard on our lumber as well. We should be okay. And conscript, you've come of age. So we could marry you off to the heir of England. Yes. Yes, please. Enjoy that, conscript. This guy's got an expensive education. Our ruler can join the Foreign Order of Chivalry. Now we're going to want to get the admin stat, because admin is the best stat in the game. Do we want to improve relations with anyone? We could do it for that. Hungary. Yeah, Hungary's admin. Let's do it. And if we could get ally Hungary, that would be huge. Goods. Anything else we want? Sturdy grains is quite useful. That'll put some demand for food as well. And all of our peasants really like sturdy grains. Unfortunately, all of our estates are still so bankrupt just because of the eco changes. But it's a lot better than it used to be. If we want more money to go into our peasantry, we obviously need to improve their estate power. And we're currently working on doing the exact opposite and getting our crown power as high as possible. The call of God? Sure, join the clergy. It's no stress off my back. Are there any privileges we want to give out? Now, these urban rights are okay. Naval, innovative, capital economy, building rights, burger trade capacity. I mean, it's not awful, but it does hurt our trade capacity quite a lot. And plutocracy. Yeah, we do need to start pushing plutocracy. So I really think we should probably get rid of this right to inherit. But obviously our nobility really hate us at the moment. So we could actually trade it for feudal mercenary contracts if we are going to be a mercenary economy. It's not a bad idea, actually. Let's let it get a bit bigger, and I think we'll do that. we will give feudal mercenary contracts to get their loyalty up a bit, and then we'll revoke right to inherit, because then that will give us that boost to aristocracy. In the meantime, let's flat out invest as much as we can in stability to get it as high as possible before we get rid of the cost reduction. People might join a coalition. I'm sure they really want to. How close are we to a parliament? Quite far. But we could do an emergency one if we declare war on Edinburgh. And I think that will probably be our play. We are quite close to getting this humiliate rival CB as well. And we don't necessarily have to take anything. I mean, we won't struggle with any AE increases for doing so. But we can use it to spawn that emergency parliament and get it a little bit earlier if we want to. So we could wait until we get this parliament, then declare the war, and then instantly spawn our emergency parliament. And then once you're doing that, you're essentially getting a parliament every, 2 parliaments every 5 years, essentially. You're doubling your parliamentary speed, and that is insane. So let's declare on Oldenburg. If you let me. It would be nice if you let me. Are they in is there a coalition? Because they seem to... Oh, there is a coalition. Ah, okay. Well, we could declare war on it with this CB. It's obviously not the best CB in the world. Have we... Did Denmark unallied us, which is sad. Are there any other good allies we could get? Well, the Teutons we could start sponsoring. And if you sponsor a military order, you can call them into wars, which is obviously very, very good. What else could we do? Is there like any iron provinces in our market? 400k is a lot, and it required a market. There's unfortunately no iron provinces in our market. That's why we've focused so hard on bog iron. But the whole of Europe really has this big iron crisis, right? And which is a opportunity for us. Our diplomatic status declines. I'm confused with that. We're not allowed to ally Brandenburg. Why is that? That's confusing. Are they PU someone? Oh, they're Bohemia's. God, Bohemia's got a mega personal union. Yeah, we definitely need to stay friends with Bohemia. They're huge. Well, we can worry about it in a bit. Let's risk it, and we'll try and wait for our next parliament to min-max our parliamentary speed. So in the meantime, we've got 476 gold. So is there anything we could do with it? So Den Haag, our city price is reducing because we're focusing so hard on masonry. But glass is also an issue for us. So we'll start subsidizing our glass guilds. And I think we'll make a few more glass guilds. The Holy Roman Emperor is dead. No! Brussels, we can make a few more in. But they're over building cap up by not a lot. So we'll do that. Even down here. Sure. We want to get as cheap a glass price as possible. Even if it is going to be expensive. But trust me, we will see the rewards for this investment in building cost reductions. Once we get urbanizing. Oh, and Chancery max levels. We obviously want a new Chancery. That would be good for us. 236. But they give some pretty decent buffs nationwide. Cabinet efficiency, local max literacy. Yeah, and some good upkeep goods as well, which would be very, very good for us. Well, why are we still migrating to Den Haag? Because I want to make a city here. And it increases that die RGO, which is obviously a very, very, very good RGO. And we can obviously always make new buildings in here, like extra bog iron smelters or whatever. We could think about moving it to try and fill out some more of our bog iron smelters or something, but I really, really want to get this a city. That is the goal at the top of my mind at the moment. Yeah, we've got some good cities brewing, actually, really. Antwerp is looking pretty decent. We can get a new livestock RGO here as well, which would be lovely. Our burghers are very, very rich. I wish they would invest a little bit more in roads. But to be fair, we've got... Our entire country is roaded out at this point. Like, yeah, apart from like the two little provinces up here. That's why we need to get these guys integrated as fast as possible. Speaking of, let's enforce their culture. Because that will improve their speed of integration once they're loyal again. So whether it's worth it or not, because they might just change back, which is a problem with the current patch. But if they were a fiefdom, then they couldn't swap back, which would obviously be gigantic for us. Now we finished our researchers that we had queued, which is good and bad because we had quite a lot queued. But I mean, I'm not going to complain with extra researchers. We'll go for disease resistance. That's a bit of a problem in this patch, albeit it is much better in this one. Innovative and free subjects and national assemblies, that could be quite good. Theatres, that's not that good. Neither is art. I mean, art is a bit crap. I know art's meant to be finally viable in this patch, but I haven't seen it yet. Maybe that's just me being biased due to how bad it used to be, though. Did any of you watch the World Cup games yesterday? I thought Mexico and Korea were really, really good. And the comeback game as well is always the best. Inquisition law, we could go papal control, or local courts. But I think we want to go to the new religion anyway, so maybe not. We'll get the support rebels. I'll get raw resource time, sure. Clergy satisfaction, sure. Cost of court, sure. And then hopefully we will have this new institution pretty soon. I'd love us to get these ones really, really early. That would be great for us. Just because the techs in both, obviously Pike and Shot is really good to try and get an army that we can beat the French with. But Printing Press and New World both are really, really viable ones for us. We want the urban rights from the borough privileges, which will allow us to specialise our tiny tool economy and actually build tool, which is the whole point of this playthrough, right? And the iron buff in the 75% blast furnace iron buff will make our economy insane because we've gone so hard into the bog iron smelters. Speaking of, can we build any more? Yes, we can. Let's get it done. Lovely. How is our iron doing on a country level? We're still negative, which is kind of insane considering how much we've invested into it. But we are using a lot for tools. But I imagine our tool crisis is now finished, I'd hope. No, we're still importing a hell of a lot. God, we need a lot of iron for this economy. But look, once we get our economic spiral sorted, it will make our tax base go crazy. That's the whole point of why we're doing it. Let's stick our minting on equilibrium, keep it on 0, cut our army maintenance. We are still positive in navy, right? Oh, we probably should get another ship built, actually. Let's go for a galley. We'll constantly get this galley that I keep ending and destroying accidentally. But it'll be worth it in the long run, I assure you. Polders, we could start building up. Our economy is doing really, really well. I'm enjoying this at the moment. Do you have some mod that shows these buildings you need producing good in the goods menu, or how do you see those under the building? I don't know what you mean. If you're not used to 1.3, the UI does change a bit. This is just a base game. So it shows you the income. You can build what you want. Just because it shows you the income as well doesn't mean it's like bound to be reliable. It could just be lying to your face. That's also something else. Do you want the satisfaction? Spend some gold? Sure. We want to do some fancy stuff with our nobility anyway. Get them closer to equilibrium. We shouldn't take debt for this anyway, so it shouldn't cause us any issues. Oh, the smallpox has come back, which is less good. I think we'll just have to grin and bear it. There's nothing we can really do about it. And we've got our parliament, which is lovely. So now we can start thinking about invading our coalition. So we will do promote member of the burghers. We will grant... Well, we'll take 3 subjects. We will fabricate a CB, and we will do it on Essen. This is the province of our culture that we really want to take because it's coal, which will obviously be insane for the bog iron smelters that we're spamming, right? And we need that for our market. So, Essen, I'm guaranteed, yeah, they are in our coalition. But they are, we can call in Bohemia to help us. The Hansa, we could also call in. Now, this is going to be a gigantic war with a load of people, but I think it's worth it, as it will allow us to get to 100 prestige again. And then we can use the new HRE circle mechanics that have come back. And hopefully it doesn't get stolen from us this time. So let's declare war. Let us summon our levies. And push through. Ooh. Yeah, our crown power is doing very well at the moment. I don't think speed 7 is a good idea. Let's get off that. Let's unite our armies together. Our vassal hates us, so they're not going to help in the war, I don't think. But we should be able to clean this one ourselves. It's not exactly the biggest coalition in the world. And obviously, if you do invade a coalition, rather than be invaded by a coalition, you can separate people. Separate people, separate peace people, which is huge. Let's go and wipe them out. And with Bohemia as well, we aren't in any threat here. The only threat is time and waste of the economics, because we're using our levies. So the faster we do it, the better. Lovely. Parliamentary traditions. Sure. I'll take that. It's a good event. Why not? Wipe them out. Lovely. And keep pushing through. Now for our economy, in the meantime, any good RGOs? Yeah, let's get our salt up. It's in demand. We can push to Essen. We've got some captured troops, but we'll probably just ransom them to get some free money. They're really, no one's going to cause us any issues this war. This is what I mean, right? We are in Essen, or at least we should be. I clicked on Essen. No, we're not. Oh no, we are in Essen, right? But it doesn't show us that. It shows us in Dusseldorf. Why are we in Dusseldorf? And now it's showing us in Essen. Come on, guys, get a grip. I'm not a fan of this. The units going a bit haywire. They are going crazy at the moment. But there's nothing we can really do about that at the moment. Taking the war goal. Let's go and stack up these people. And obviously food is a big issue in the patch at the moment. And when you accidentally delete your army, you're going to have food problems anyway, for obvious reasons. And let's get pushing. We could think about going into Munster, but we are sort of just trying to play a bit tall and small at the moment, so I don't want to go too wide. Yeah, playing tall. Declare war, a new war every parliament. Yeah, but like, what are we losing out of this, right? It's a free prestige war. Tall doesn't mean you're not at war. Tall means you just sit in your own, you sort of build up your own place, and that's what we're doing. We're not expanding into any cultures we can't afford. We're not vassal spamming. We're just integrating these guys, and they've been our vassal for a while. Let's actually improve relations with them, try and get them a bit more loyal. And we need to get the stuff done of our own culture. Like Essen is a perfect example. Limburg might be as well. They're Walloon, but these guys are in Maastricht, which is the home of the European Union. We'll get a new Maastricht Treaty signed. Why don't we? And let's invade that quite quickly. Yeah, we want our culture to be unified. That's what we need to do. I don't think that makes us count as wide. But look, we've got the ability to do the war, so why not? Even if it's a money war, I don't think that sort of gets you away from going for tall, because you're just getting more money that flows back into your tall cities. And that's why we're working so hard to get our building cost reductions down, so we can start urbanising. But our masonry is still stupid high, but I guess we are constructing quite a lot. Let's do some more RGOs. Munster, do you want to peace out? Have you got any provinces we need? Westphalian. To be fair, we are going to embrace the Westphalian culture. What RGOs are they? Livestock, stone, lumber. I mean, they could be quite good, actually, to be honest. But I do want to play tall, so we'll worry about that in a second. Why then no forts across the little guys was because I think the AI just thinks, oh, I can't afford this, especially if you're such a tiny nation. If you can't afford it, the AI is not going to go for it, right? Is the Westphalian culture that big? It is quite substantive, actually, and we are going to embrace it. Not embrace it, but accept it, sorry. You're low Franconian. You're Walloon, so we'll piece you out. Humiliate, block you from building. We'll take all reps, annul treaties, and some money, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, we want to get to 100 prestige here, if it's all possible. Maastricht, I don't know if we are co-belligerented, but I'm going to get you done. We will go diplomatic endeavours just to reduce the AE. And I will obviously peace out Maastricht and take their land, because this is a good little province for us. It's wool, it's high value, and it's our culture, so it will be a core as soon as we integrate it. So let's get it in the fold. We're just uniting the Low Countries. That's what we're doing. See, our country looks so much better now after that. Albeit, what would make it look better is if we got rid of the French problem, really. Munster. This is the big question. Do I want to get a gigantic coalition for your land, or just chill out a little bit? I mean, what's our proximity like over here? We've got quite a bit, but maybe not crazy levels. You're 11 at 11 livestock, though. That could be quite good in our market. So maybe one province. We can't piece them out yet. I think we'll just take one province for now. I don't want to overexpand ourselves before we've even got like paved roads and stuff to get the control that we need to be tall. We'll get there, though. There's a lot to do. Diplomatic hegemon, yeah, France is a bit scary, right? There's not really much we can do about them, but we can keep warring people. Anyone else we can peace out? This little guy here looks a bit tiny. War reps, please. Military access. Yeah, we just invaded them. We're like, yeah, can you pay us money, please, for us to go away? It's more like tribute than war reps, because they haven't exactly damaged us, but I'm not complaining. These guys, I mean, we still got this, we still got our little gold vassal here, actually. But they're paying us a lot of money, so I'm not complaining. Humiliate, more money, war reps, and old treaties. Let's get it done. Lovely jubbly. What about you guys? Let's just keep pushing. Are we at war with many other people? Let's just go and defend our own, I think. Actually, no, we need to push up in the north. We need to get the Hansa sorted. If we can get war reps in the Hansa, we will be in a very good mood. Let's peace you out. Thank you very much, my friends. You have been a good friend to the Hollandish. Let's push up to the Holland. Yeah, just go straight there, to be honest. If we can start sieging them down, that'd be brilliant. Albeit we won't have the food. That's the problem. Yeah, let's siege Bremen first. Tecklenburg. Yeah, I'm just going to take prestige from you and some money, please. We're going to get a lot of war reps from all of this, but it'll be worth it. It is definitely worth the clicking. We're already up to 79 prestige. Anyone small we can piece out yet? Doesn't look like it. Munster is the one, but we can't force them to peace until a while. I don't think they're a co-belligerent, so only taking one province is probably the limit. Otherwise, we will get way too much AE for our own good. Bremen. Now, do we want to take any provinces up here in the Low Countries? Probably not. We can think about getting you out. Or we can think about just holding you for now and doing some economic damage. That's also a thing. We can be a little bit mad and sort of damage them here. Oh no, we're taking some bad attrition up there. There we go. We finally got enough food to keep going around, which is nice. Our economy is still doing well. Our tax base is down at the moment, but we have got our levies up, obviously. Let's keep boosting up these new buildings wherever possible. We just need our masonry to be done. Once our masonry is lower, we can actually start urbanizing properly. And we can make governors if we really want to, but we are in such a small nation, we don't really need to. Welcome over to the stream. Thank you for being here. If you wouldn't mind subscribing or following, it'd be much appreciated. Food access. Oh, we just need to get some pieces out, really. Oldenburg. God, we can do a lot here. Humiliate. Yes, please. Get you out. I could have taken land from them, actually. I probably should have done that. It's okay. We're playing till. Get some from Bremen. Block you from building on us. We'll take war reps. We'll take some maps. Why not? And Brandenburg, you can annul treaties with. Lovely. And let's go and try and siege Lübeck. At least we can force them out of the war. Munster, will you peace out with me now? Yeah, we'll just take one province. Let's not overdo it. I really don't want to annoy them. That's a lot of money, though. God, we'll take that. One province, lovely. I'm going to move off integrating Friesen for now because I want to focus on these, like the odd province down here, because it's a lot faster if you've only got one bit to do for obvious reasons. Let's see if we can piece out Lübeck. They're a subject. I guess it's a subject of the Hansa. Yeah, let's piece out the Hansa. We'll go with white piece. Makes it easier. And now we can think about just getting this peace deal done. We don't really have many more people to separate peace, and it's just a bit of waste of time at the moment. Let's take our Essen. Essen's a really good place. That's the coal bit that we need for our market. And now we are in a very good state. So let's get you integrating, even if you're only 66. We'll get you integrating as well, and we want to get all of this stuff cored. Lovely. It shouldn't take too long. That says it's negative, but I guarantee it won't be. We are just going to do it on a province by province basis. We've got quite a big coalition list at the moment. I do wish that the automation worked properly where you could get rid of your coalitions, but we're going to have to do it manually. It's not the end of the world, though. We're just going to keep doing it and thinking about it. I do wish our Diplo cap was higher, but we're not investing any money into it, so why would it be? Tax base is going well. Bog iron. We need more bog iron smelters. Alkmaar. Sure. Actually, let's do it somewhere where we actually have profit. Anywhere? Dordrecht, Leiden, sure. This will make us a lot of money. It might not seem like it at the moment, but it will do. And the good thing is we will just be immune from the big iron crisis. Albeit it does seem that even though we're investing so much into bog iron, we are having an iron crisis of our own. And that's because of rural blacksmiths. So they make 0.5 tools from market villages. I guess we do have a... I do like market villages, but not when you've got an iron crisis. We just need... Yeah, we just need to get our bog iron. What's our coal looking like? Yeah, we've got a big coal surplus now, which is lovely. And our lumber. So our lumber's still... We're still having to import a lot. We're using a lot of lumber. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. I appreciate all of you. And thank you for the super chat. Love your vids. Our marketplace is worth it now. It depends on the... it depends on what your country is, right? Your... if you've got a big core industry, like a big iron surplus, right, which we should hopefully have in the future, then absolutely, because you're going to be able to import it around the world, and you're also going to be able to import other goods to make your goods cheaper. But if you're somewhere that's got a very mixed economy, and you're not set to make any big industries or big advantages, then it's all about opportunity cost. What can you make differently to other people to get an advantage instead of marketplaces that draw you into that global economy? So it's more so of what isn't effective, because marketplaces are very good and they're pretty much universally good. It's just some are better and some aren't. It's all about what is best for your situation and what could you be doing better. Are we short on coal? No, we're not, because we've just got this new coal province that we just annexed in Essen, and this is giving so much coal. So we're flooding the market of coal at the moment, which will make our bog iron smelters very profitable. It's just we are so short on manpower. So once we've finished integrating, we're going to have to start systematically getting the manpower through and promoting people. So it's actually population promotion that is our issue. So 3 subjects could be the solution to that, to get our promotion speed up. Can we give out anything to speed up that process? Oh, we didn't call our emergency parliament. That's really sad. I feel like an idiot after not doing that. These guys, when are you going to be loyal again? I do want you to be loyal. They're still 0%. That's sad. We are 90 prestige though now, so we could potentially take back our Imperial Circle. Challenge Circle leadership. Let's do it. They've got 98. Okay, we're going to withdraw. They've got so much prestige. Jesus. How is an AI nation like that getting so much prestige? That's mental. Our coalition is shaping up a little bit, but it's not going to cause us any problems. We'll put our Duke back on our navy to allow us to push back down that way. I don't know why the tooltips aren't working. Oh, I do. That's showing. It's not showing their percentage. It's showing their cabinet trait. That's why it's looking a bit weird. -1%, -0.10%, and this guy doesn't have a cabinet trait. Oh no, it does. It's counter-espionage. Okay, so yeah, I don't think the UI there is set up properly. That's a bit of a problem with Paradox as a whole, though, right? Urbanization cabinet action. Ooh, I don't think we've unlocked that yet, but we should add it to the list because we're going to need that with our promotion being an issue. Urbanization. Yes, we'll add it to the queue. There we go. Good idea. Thank you for that, mate. Much appreciated. You didn't watch? You're not really into sports? Fair enough, mate. I do like the World Cup myself, but I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Get some new coastal forts. Why not? Let's check for libraries. We'll just go through and make sure all of our industries are up to scratch. Libraries not needed. Temples. Yeah, let's get some temples. Lovely. Want some wharfs. We just want this this vassal to be integrated now, pretty much. That'll really help us out once they're done, because we'll get all of that northern coastline. Yeah, bog iron requires coal, which requires lumber, and we're getting a lot of lumber from the lumber mills, which we're using tools on, which is why we don't have any tools. That's the problem. But once we specialise and you get our urban rights, we'll be able to make a lot of tools. Now, tool guilds are more profitable than market villages. So we could think about getting rid of our market villages and just focusing on our tool guilds to make it more specialised. But even then, it's not that effective. We just need to improve the supply of iron and it should fix everything. But because we've obviously gone so hard into lumber mills, that's why we're using so many tools. But this spiral is why our tax base is going up so much. So it shouldn't be seen as a bad thing. It should just be something of a bit of a challenge that we've got to work through. Yeah, the pop promotion is our big issue at the moment. So let's just focus on the provinces that we don't have these manpower issues. Wool is always going to be good, considering our spinning economy is always going to be there as well. And we've got a lot more bog iron smelters being built up as well. Our integration should be done soon, which should culture. You want to have a look at the culture? Let's have a look. Culture location. Our cultural capacity is pretty good. We are at 0.3.2.5. It'll be a lot easier. It will get, well, not easier, but closer to our cap once we actually integrate our vassal. But that's a long way away. Our current heir is, he's okay. He's pretty good. 13. He should be about 75 by the time we're done. Rebellious subjects, we could probably need to focus on getting them back up to normal. National assemblies, that could be something we go for. I don't know if it's worth getting rid of trade office network for it. We could actually be thinking about getting some other foreign buildings, like in Britain, for example. We could build some trade offices just to see how effective they are, really. How much would it cost? 33. We could do it, to be fair. Let's give it a go and see how profitable they are. We'll make 8 in London. Why not? We've got a good reduction for it. I know we're not a merchant republic yet, but we can always get down there down the line. But to be former republic, we need 95 plutocracy, and we're a long way away from that. What the fuck? 38% crown power? Yeah, we're doing pretty well at the moment. We can always improve that more with some counting houses and get it near the 40% mark. But we've given so much privileges to our burghers that's why it's so it's relatively low in comparison to what we could get with such a small amount of people. So we could get a cabinet efficiency modifier for 50 years. Absolutely, that's insane. Now, we could have another look at the artist system. We've got 2 out of 3 possible artists. Now, he's terrible. So we're going to get rid of you. We can hire a few more. Salary, quality, and creation speed. They've all got some good traits. So these are our 3 artists at the moment. And we can always commission some arts and see what we can get from it. That will probably make it better just to get some prestige anyway. And we've got enough money from it. So it's not going to cause as many issues. Trading still fulfills your economy needs. So it might not even be that you have to make it yourself. Yeah, you're not wrong. And that's why we've gone so heavy into marketplaces. And with these new cities, we've got the Flemish cloth industry on there. So if we spam marketplaces in here, we'll get a lot more trade capacity from these specific provinces. So I'll queue up some actually, just so we don't forget about it. And this is the point where we start making our mid-game economy already. We start specialising our economies, planning out our cities, where we're going to make these industries. And that's how you win in EU5's mid-game. So encouraging migration, right? So we need to get... No, we don't. We don't need migration. We need pop promotion. Unfortunately, we don't have the thing for that yet, which is sad. But we can always develop provinces. In the meantime, though, I do want to see if we can get any further down free subjects. And we've got 100 Diplo head of the cabinet. We've got to at least try it. Change the size of values. We'll go to free subjects and see if we can get any further. Because that will buff up our pop promotion speed. Universities help with that. That's not a bad idea. What are your thoughts so far on 1.3.2? Yeah, very good. I like it. Lots of new features. I do wish the estate actions were a little bit slower. They do seem very, very overpowered for what they are at the moment. But that's my only main gripe with it. The performance is so much better than 1.2 and 1.3. So I'm a very happy chappy in that respect. Overall, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. You should try your own games and see what you can accomplish. Is there a way to seal your burger trades? Not to my knowledge, but if someone knows, I'd love to find out. I haven't really looked into the burger trade feature, to be honest. It's just sort of something that happens and something that I think about when I get to it. Do we want to steal some more out of our burgers, or do we want to curtail them a bit more? We could do a reduction. They'd not like us for a bit, but it would make them a little bit more efficient and reduce their power. Probably a good idea. They've still got a lot of money in the bank. Hopefully they don't start getting some rebellions going. That would be bad for us. We can get some papermakers guilds going in Antwerp if we want. That could be a good next stage of our economy. Try it. But do we have a building cost increase yet? We don't. Actually, it doesn't look like we do. 113 for a papermaker's guild is extortionate. Yes, we do. Let's stop building that. We need to urbanise. We need cities. I keep spending more money to try and reduce the cost, but it's not helping. Like, we're at 1.863. It's because the masonry prices isn't going down at the moment. What is our masonry market looking like? It's balanced. Supply just isn't meeting demand. That's why. Because our granaries. So if we actually turned off our granaries for a little bit, we do have a lot of them. Always good to, that's obviously good for our pop capacity, but it's hurting our masonry. So if we chuck off our granaries for a little bit, go into a gigantic granary surplus, whilst we save up our money to get some cities up, it should reduce our cost. In the meantime, let's check our RGO, see if there's anything we can get. No, it's once again, it's just these big employments discrepancies, and we need pop promotion speed for that. So let's keep integrating provinces. Let's go back to Friesland. We're getting our cores up, which is nice. Let's just check it is all cored with integration. Lovely. Oh, these bits aren't cored down here. Good. Whoever asked for me to check the culture in the chat, you are a brilliant person. We need to get these. We're not getting value out of this. We need cores. So let's embrace the pick our culture if we can. How much would it be culture capacity? Like nothing. Look how low that is. Because it's a kindred cultural opinion. Let's do that. That's gigantic. And that will just give us loads of cores. Whereas these guys, they're Walloon. So can we embrace Walloon culture? Yes, we can as well. Now that all of this should now become cores at the end of the month. And that will actually really help our economy. You, sir, are a legend. Are you going to make Antwerp a megalopolis? Probably not, just because it's going to be really hard to get that many pops in that one state. But if we get the option to, why? I mean, I'm not going to say no. Religious art sponsorship, absolutely. Promise of safe passage, sure. I mean, we're going to go for the Reformation anyway, so it doesn't really matter if we get any like Waldinians or whatever it is. Some more bog iron, please. Is the masonry price coming down? Yeah, see, look, all our city price is already coming down unless we're getting that masonry surplus. I do hope we're not exporting it. Now we have a surplus. Oh, it does seem like we are. Wheat granaries. They're still using it in granaries. But I turned off the granaries. Right. Not just in our market. I'd like to turn you off, please. Thank you. It might take them a while to shut down, to be fair. And that should give us a lot more masonry as we get through. Welcome to the stream, everyone new. It's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. If you wouldn't mind subscribing or following, I would really appreciate you. Or liking the stream. It just helps more people discover it. It helps me out in turn. Let's get some... Let's just check our other modes quickly. Fortress towns. We probably want to revoke, but we've got stability. Now, we're pretty close to our nobility satisfaction level where we can think about getting rid of right to inherit. Now, I know it's not that major of a problem for us at the moment, but if we do want to push plutocracy, which would be very good for us if we want to ever become like a merchant republic or a Dutch republic, we're going to want to get rid of this. Now, that will make our stability a lot more expensive, so I'm going to pull back on our investment there. That will help us get some towns quicker as well. But what we will do to stop them rebelling is give out feudal mercenary contracts, I believe. Because that will allow us to get much cheaper mercs for the inevitable French wars in the next era. But what we do need to get are these institutions. Now, printing press is starting to spread in us, which is nice. Is there anything we can do to speed that up? So if you didn't know about institutions, by the way, who has them? So specifically printing press I'm looking for. It's not showing me, which is annoying. Yeah, you essentially need to get trade or get fleet basing rights of people who have it. Now, we could re-ally England. This guy's got a much better Diplo cap. So it's only 5.25. But what we can do is request fleet basing rights. Oh, no, we can't. You need favours for that. Oh, that's sad. Okay, well, let's see what we can do in the meantime. Can we invite any settlers from Flanders? No, we can't do. We could just have a look at our coalition, see if we can reduce it. Berg, we're trying to improve relations anyway. Yeah, Jersey, we probably want to improve our relations with. Oh no, France took Jersey from us. No! Robert's going to be really annoyed. We actually lost land in these wars. It's really frustrating, the random old ones that we got called into. Nothing we can really do about that as we were defending our ally, but come on. An unmarried child. Let's get that sorted. The heir of Sweden. Yes, please. I love a personal union. So now we are starting to get some rebels. And that is the burghers. Why are the burghers so unhappy with us? So the burghers don't like that we gave the privilege to the nobles. Okay. So what do we want to give the burghers to make them happy? We could give out treasury rights, which gives tax efficiency, innovative, and bank interest. That's very good. Guild investments for capital economy and innovative. Also good. I don't think we'll do this as we don't have very many heavy metals. Commercial Advisory Council is probably the one, just because it will boost our capital economy and give us loads of trade capacity. Or allow trade centre sponsorship, because that will allow us to get more of our own provinces into our own market. I think we'll do that, actually. Market attraction is such an underrated stat that you really need. Oh, our niece, who's really good, has come of age. That's brilliant. We will probably want to use her in our cabinet when our older sister dies off, but we don't have to worry about that in the meantime. Let's keep queuing some fancy marketplaces in these two provinces. We can make these really specialised. Or do we want to go for some counting houses to get that crown power up? It's not a bad idea, actually, even though we are heavy over our building cap. So let's have a look at the places we want to make cities and get our building cap sorted, because we are pretty much over in Antwerp. We are definitely over in Den Haag. Amsterdam, we're quite close. So what old buildings can we get rid of in Antwerp to make it easier for us? Nothing much, really, unfortunately. I mean, we could get rid of the barracks now we're no longer using them. But we will want... oh, I'm an idiot. Why have we just left our levies up for the entire time? Let's get our levies down. We want our economy to actually be doing bits and bits, thank you very much. You can ask diplomatically to join your market, right? But these are our own provinces, right? It's not a vassal. So we're just trying to get our own places in our own market, which is the hard bit. Because it's a bit of a... See, that we've managed to push Bergen into our market, which is good now. And that's a coal RGO, so we'll probably want to improve that a little bit. But it's going to take some time, and we've got to get our market attraction up if we want to get all of them. Oh, we've got an iron province into our market. That's huge. Right, we're just going to spam this RGO now. We're going to get that to full. We're going to encourage migration over there. And we're going to get that iron province to full, as we need that in our market. That will give us so much economic value. And then we can start thinking about some specific, like, specified tooling cities as well. Our burghers are hating on us at the moment. Could we, like, bribe them off to like us a bit more? No, we could take more of their money. Yeah, it'd be very expensive to bribe them off. I think we'll just let it sort itself out. I mean, we're almost full free subjects now, so we'll give it 1 more month, and then we can actually think about appeasing them. Because our nobility are too weak. They're not doing any rebellions at the moment, but our burghers are definitely strong enough to do so, because they are really strong. But we've got a long old run to do. And that's why the whole thing is, we're trying to survive this session. We need to not die to France by any means necessary. Now, our economy is starting to pick up now, which is looking very, very nice. France has forced Iceland to embargo us. Okay, France is becoming increasingly a problem. Now, our air is looking pretty good. So if we could kill off our ruler again, that would be really, really useful for us. We've got harbour minister. We could go admiralty regime, but I don't really think it's worth it. We could go national assemblies. But do we think getting rid of royal decree is worth national assemblies? So we get 10% crown power currently and 10% centralisation. If we went to national assemblies, we get change policy cost, which isn't that great. Parliament request issue support needed is quite good because we're spamming our parliaments quite a lot. Innovative and free subjects. And I'm on that bandwagon. I think we'll go for that. Now, as we get these new institutions anyway, we'll get a new government policy soon. So we'll end up putting something new out. So maybe I should have waited, but it's not the end of the world. Let's profess some trust with our vassals as well. Try and make them a bit more loyal. They really hate us after we enforce their culture again. But they never seem to be converting anything for us. So is it really worth it? Yeah, they're negative. It was probably a bad idea to do that, but hopefully it helps us in the long term. If we could change them to being a fiefdom, it would be our best option because then they couldn't convert the provinces back. But it doesn't seem like we can do that at the moment. Welcome to the stream, everyone who's joined recently. It's good to see you all. Do say hi in chat. But Fibrous crops, we could always do a bit more. We've got obviously quite a big spinning economy, so we are quite reliant on them. Even if we want to be on wool eventually. Let's get a few more going in breader, why not? Actually, that's a bad idea. We want to specialise our economy in breader as much as physically possible. And we're already hitting the building cap here, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, building cap is 49 in breader. So we can only spam so many buildings here, like marketplaces and such. But we do want to max out our marketplaces here, just because of that trade cap we get access to. There we go. We've got a lot queued there. I do wish we had construction centres, but they're a bit more of a late game building. Bog iron smelters we can always do some more of. But like I said, I just cancelled it in breader, so maybe I do want to put it in breader. Gear Truder. Ooh, yes. We'll build a new one in you. And we are going to become that iron economy. This iron RGO better get up to scratch quickly. Rural smelter as well. We'll specialise it a little bit. Speaking of, are there any other specialised buildings we could get? Like windmills? We've invested quite a lot into our RGOs. Rural glassmaker. That's a new building. I didn't know that was around. Have you guys seen that before? We can get some more fibrous crops here, actually. Why not? They're always going to be quite economically good for us at the moment. Our charcoal guilds are really inefficient because of those RGOs, but the more we make our bog iron smelters, the more we'll create demand for them. So it will solve itself in the future. Subject turns against us. We'll just take the prestige here. Now, we need to get some better control over our northern bits if we want to get some more bog iron smelters at good value. But that's a problem for the future. That's why we're integrating it. Have we actually accepted the culture in the north yet? Because our cultural capacity is still really low. But we have just accepted everything. I guess they're all kindred cultures. So we can think about like assimilating them later on. But for now, I just want to push down 3 subjects as much as physically possible. So are there any privileges for our peasantry that we can give out to make them like us a bit more? Partial yield could be good to reduce our food consumption. Her peasant levy size would be alright, but I don't really want to get rid of our levy size at the moment. Albeit, if we are just going to become a mercenary economy, it's not the worst thing. But it would. How much would that make our burghers hate us? Quite a lot at the moment. Yeah, we can't afford to do that. But they are starting to go away, which is nice. We're still integrating free zones, so they should become cores once we're done with that. Have they joined our market? Yes, they have. And finally, a lot of our provinces have joined this market, so it's getting quite big, which is lovely. I will upgrade Bergen's RGO again. I know I keep building stuff, and we do need to urbanise. So I'm going to ban myself from building for a little bit. We're going to save up for the urban cities that we desperately need. Now, how close are we to our next parliament? Oh, only a month. Lovely. And we're probably going to save up for our next... like, get it? What's it called? Get it? Instituting the institution. So there we go. We'll go with that. But yeah, I mean, you can ask for market preference, but I don't really. We own the Den Haag market, and we're really out competing the Bruges market at the moment. So we could try and get these guys to join it, but what is the benefit? We've got full control over our own market at the moment. There's not really many good RGOs here anyway. I mean, this Dies province would be quite good to get to us. We could think about invading these guys. It's an 11 out of 11 die province and a Lum. Yeah, they could. This free province I want as our next victim. It's Rapunian Franconian. I think we've got that embraced, or we can embrace it. So I think we go for that next. Now, fund artisan guilds is insane, but so is farming estates if we would just want to spam RGOs for a bit. Or a commodity exchange. Yeah, we'll go artisan guilds. It gives, if you pass it, 10% production efficiency and 5% local access to raw materials. It's insane. Let's get that done. That's a new benefit in 1.3 actually. There are some really, really good new parliamentary issues that you just get access to. It's really, 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 really useful. Improve opinion, why not? And the more and more this game gets developed and the more and more DLCs that come out, there are just going to be much more flavour coming into this game. So keep the faith if you're a bit of a naysayer. That's what I say. We'll get a Danish marriage going with our heir. Why not? Hopefully he doesn't run off to Denmark. That would be sad. How is our maritime presence doing over here? Not as much as we would want. We need to get that up. Courtier, our niece, and a random noble. Sure, not the end of the world. We're getting quite far into free subjects, which is lovely. And we have some tailor's guilds that we can keep going for if we want to. Now you've got the, yeah, we do want to get some tailor's guilds here. They are the Flemish cloth industry as well. Tailor's guilds, and obviously marketplaces. There we go, lovely. So and this is a good example of a specialised city we've got already. Now our tax base is doing insane. Honestly, getting that iron into our market and the surplus of coal has really made it so much more competitive. We just need to get our population promotion up, and that's why we're going so hard into free subjects. Which is very different, because normally like the meta is a noble economy at the moment, right? You'd spam metas, you'd spam nobility buildings, you get as much money into them as possible. But it seems, because of the estate changes, it doesn't seem that viable at the moment. Finally, our nobility are actually economically viable though, which is lovely. If we want to push some more money into our estates, we can focus on wealth rather than just pure profit. So building up RGOs in like low control regions. And I don't think that's necessarily a completely bad idea. We'll do a little bit of that. I don't want to push too hard into it. Anything else? It's quite good. You see, if we had iron, that would be great. But to be fair, we do. And we are building that up. Our head of the cabinet, even better stats. Yes, please. She's insane. 99, 168. Wow. Roads, yeah, we've still got, it keeps saying these roads are unprofitable, but that's because Flanders keeps changing its mind whether we can go through it or not. So it's not really worth changing, in my opinion. But we are getting the iron quite nicely. And we just need to keep pushing down that route, really. The annexation is stalled, yeah, it's because they're disloyal. I enforced culture to try and get our culture on them, but it's really not worth it, as we accept their culture anyway. So I'm just going to let them get annexed over time. But I'm not going to get rid of it. It's costing us nothing to just keep annexing them. Unhappy estates, so we can't change that. Join an international organ. Oh my god, the time has come. The coalition. We might be able to free Flanders. This is our moment. Oh, but that's their coalition. But can we launch the coalition? We could. We just need a CB. And we have one. We have the... Oh, no. We've got to use the coalition CB. So that would call in Bohemia. Wait, France has only got 20k troops? Where's their army gone? Have they killed their levies somewhere? We've even got the Grand Coalition achievement. Right. We've got to act quick. We've got to... We need to do this. How big is this coalition? It's quite big, but I don't think it's enough to beat France without some big friends, especially if we're going up against our ally Bohemia. Is there anything we can do to get Bohemia to unally France? In the meantime, we will ally England. I know we're going over our Diplo cap, but don't hate me. I want to call it in England. Would England join? England would, of course, join. That's huge. Who else hates France? Spain. Spain are -7 to be our friend because we're the likely target of a coalition. Let's go max on our Diplo spending for now. It doesn't really matter about our investment in this time of need. We need to destroy the French. Yeah, our income is doing really, really well. Just look at the economy. I'm very happy with what we're achieving at the moment. And as our buildings get filled with pop promotion speed, it will get even better. We need to either find some more allies who are prepared to attack France, save up enough money to get loads of mercs, or just find a way to win the war, really. If we release Flanders, we can then take them ourselves, and that's all we need to do, really. Now, our nobility are trying to rise up. Let's just appease our estate, I think. Let's appease our burghers to start with, get them over and done with, and get them back in the fold. They've got a lot of money. So I'm really tempted to steal some of their money for the war effort, but we'll do that once they like us a little bit more. We can canonize the saint, probably not worth it. We can bugger over France. So we need to try and get Castile. We're going to go heavy over our Diplo cap here. And it's going to be... but the antagonist is going to kill us. So maybe we don't go for Castile. Who is France currently at war with? They're currently losing to Venice, like, severely. They attacked Venice, and Venice cleaned them out. They lost 192,000 men. Jesus. Okay. So we're probably going to spend money on our mercs if we want to do it, but we do want to get some cavalrymen. I know we obviously accidentally deleted our cavalrymen, but we want some cavalrymen for the flanks. So we'll get at least one more. We also want some supply troops, so we don't die. We'll get 4 supply troops. That should be enough. Now we've got 500 ducats left for mercenaries. So hopefully we should be able to go through and get some mercenaries to beat France. Now we're no longer just hiding. Oh, now that's the cabinet action we need. So we're no longer going to appease the burghers. We're going to put you on promote urbanization. And we're going to do over here. So all of these guys should start urbanizing and filling their gaps in their market, really, which should be good for us. Which means we can think about investing in a place like Middenberg or something like that. Now, they've all got some very good production efficiencies at the moment because of that artisan charter. And we need tools, so we'll put some more tools in. Why not? Other than that, I've got a spending addiction, and I'm going to try and stop doing it. I have a problem. I need an intervention. Help. Urban right. So this is the Flemish cloth industry. So we actually do want to build this up. Spinners Guilds. There we go. I've just spent another 500. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. I know I'm an idiot. No, it's not going to be worth it. I am an idiot. We need mercenaries, and I have a building issue. We will do 2 because that's how many people they actually have. Now we're going to start minting. We're going to get some money in for mercs. We'll cut our diplomatic spending a little bit because we want to build a spy network. We need that if we're going to war. Now, coalitions, people are leaving this coalition. Can we invite anyone to the coalition? I know it's not our coalition, so we're not technically the head of it. Imperial actions. I just wish we could get Bohemia to ally France. That would literally be my one desire. Because France, they're so weak at the moment. Like, Bohemia would just carry them. If we have England, though, we've got a very good strong chance. We just need to do it on our own accord. If Bohemia can't get to France, they're less of a problem. What's the coalition war goal? Yeah, it shows superiority, which is a problem. Because all of our little AI people will just ram and charge at France and get themselves killed into the 18k and lose all of the war score. That's why it's a risk. Or we just go for it ourselves, but then we are solo against France and Bohemia. And I don't think we can afford to do that, if I'm honest. The other option is we do it a little bit cheesy. Now, what we could do is declare a second war on someone. Call in Bohemia, which would mean that we can if they're in a war with us, they can't be called into another war. So we could try and get a separate war with Bohemia in it, but we're so high over a diplo cap anyway. I just think we need to sort of do the coalition and try it. If we lose, we lose. So let's do our techs. Are there any last minute techs we want? Peasant levies. I mean, why not? And we need to get the institution embraced, but we're still quite far off of that, unfortunately. Maximum RGO size in rural, sure. And construction speed, sure. I can intervene in a war? What, against France? That could be the play. We're doing it. We're doing it. This is a risk, but we're doing it. Raise the armies. Get the masks. We need to kill as many people as possible. We can free Flanders here. I just hope they don't piece us out before we do it. Because Venice could piece out at any point. And we're going to get a truce from this, unfortunately. We don't get the coalition, but they're so weak. But it is all professional arts. So if we get superior troops, we can win this. We just need to get as much war score as quick as possible to win this on our own merit. So we want to hire some mercs. Do we? Is anyone that's good and cheap? I mean, we've stacked a lot of mercenary reductions. They're not really available to us. So we might have to gather a new army. It's not the end of the world, though. 4,000. So we will increase the contract length. It's for some reason the same price. Actually, I don't think the war's going to go on for that long. So we'll go for 5 years. We'll get you and we'll do you there. 5,000 should hopefully be enough. I do wish our vassals would loyal though. We had that going for us. Let's just start going to the city here. For some reason, it doesn't have a thing. Oh, they actually know what they're in the war. Lovely. Shipping standards, blockade efficiency. Let's get our guy in port. Let's not sacrifice our navy again, like we have done a few times. What's your research rate? Let's have a look. Our research rate is 2.05. We've got good average control. We've got a few institutions. Our clergy really like us. It's going quite well. If we get some more universities, it should help with that as well. There we go. Our mercenaries are here. Now let's start sieging down some forts. Now that's a hefty fort. We could run straight to Bruges. But with France not having a big army, we can afford to be a bit risky and split our army up. Don't get me wrong, it's a massive risk, but I'm prepared to take it. Go for you. We'll stick you here. I wish I had artillery at this moment in time. Can I quickly do the artillery tech? Let's have a look. Where are we? Where are we? Have I not got it? Heavy cavalry. Oh, it's in the next stage, isn't it? Oh, no, we have it. We have artillery, so we can hire some artillery. Let's do that. There we go. Well, let's get some artillery to speed up these sieges. We want it done as fast as possible. Is England already in this war? No, but someone else just peaced out, which is sad. Venice, we better not peace out before I can get Flanders to be released. Release Flanders. 102 war scores to release Flanders. Are you mad? That's insane. We might just have to take Flanders. That's honestly astronomical. You could war with Portugal and ally Spain. Well, we're trying this first. We can always come back and do it ourselves later on. But with their levies being dead, that's a gigantic opportunity for us that we need to take. Let's get our camp followers in our army. We don't want to be over encumbered. If we can get out some war score for ourselves, we are just going to be great. Like over 10%, they'll start giving us stuff, obviously. And we might just have to take land rather than trying to free it. But that's okay, because it should all be cores. Have you got regulars here? They appear to be dying, which is sad. Okay. We will be fine. We got this, we got this, we got this. So we are urbanizing South Holland, which is good. So let's just check our Bulgarian smelters. Are we up to productive efficiency yet? It looks like we have a slight... No, we're still promoting in these provinces. But it should be done soon enough. No siege generals? Yeah, we need to roll, but you can't get a trait without a battle, remember. So we just need to roll for people, really. But we need to do battles for that. Now, oh no. Full retreat, full retreat, full retreat. The French are coming. The French are coming. Right, let's consolidate on Ghent. Let's not kill ourselves. We might still lose the battle anyway, right? Let's be real. Balanced army. We want the cavalry on the flanks. Come on. Oh no, their kill rate is a lot better than ours. This is not going well. Jesus, the French are strong. Well, we need our mercs. Well, I guess we'll stick together. We can always get more mercs, to be fair. We have the economy for it. What is France's economy looking like? They've rehired more levies. They've still got a lot of professionals, like. But if we wound down their manpower... Oh no. We are getting murdered here. Maybe we need Venice. Yeah, our army is just terrible. We might need more mercs. The siege strat didn't work. We overspread, and that's always a problem in EU5. Okay. So we've just lost 10,000 men unnecessarily. What can we do? Well, is that a full professional stack they just wiped us with? I can't see, unfortunately. Oh, it pretty much is, yeah. No wonder they won that. And if only we had a professional army. And to be fair, we do have the economy now to build up a big one. Or we just go for more mercs. And we try and actually win this. Or we just run away with our tail between our legs. That's the other option. What do you guys think we should do? Let me know. There's no troops left in Venice. They'll probably peace out soon. Fair enough. Hey, if they take money from this, we should get some nice contribution to our coffers from our war contribution. However, I can't pronounce anything today. Contribution. Right, it's a nice little battle one. England want food access? Sure. Let's just kill as many small armies as we can, do as much damage as possible. And we can always get some more mercs. Let's just go on Namur for a bit. If we could take this and get this into our economy, it being an iron province as well would be insane for us. Like this, the economic impact that this one iron province has had on our economy is already gigantic. If we get this guy, at least in our market, it would be insane. Wait, did we? Oh no, our regulars got captured. That's really sad. So this guy is an army attrition. Have we got any other good trait generals? He's movement speed, army attrition, morale. Yeah, we don't have any siege ones, unfortunately. I guess we'll go for the movement speed one, just in case. Try to win. We'll try that. I appreciate that. Thank you for that one. I appreciate the advice. People are leaving our coalition. But is that the coalition we're a part of? I'm not sure. Yeah, we need to urbanise. I keep spending money, but we do desperately need to urbanise. And specifically cities soon. Oh no, they're coming for us. Let's run away. Bye. Go on, come on our forts. Take my forts down. I'll wipe you out, mate. Let's get our professional army. We're going to turn on our armories. We can afford it. The armories are back on. So we can start building up that professional army. Lovely. Now, the French are spreading out their army again. So can we see if we can get them? Let's give it a go. Social mobility. Burger satisfaction is probably a bad one at the moment. So we'll take the estates. And we're pushing through quite hard here. I'm really curious how you'll play Poland, because you can get Silesia and Koret free because it's Polish culture. Poland's quite a good one to actually learn the economy on, because you have no economic spiral that you can just abuse. Oh no, I've lagged a little bit. We're going to see, and this is a perfect opportunity to show how strong the full retreat button is. We're free! Woo! We just lose 1,000 troops guaranteed. But we shall prevail, even if it's in the long term. Come on, Venice. You know when you want to peace out, right? You want to peace out and save me? Oh, we're just going to chill our boots for a little bit. If they split up and try and take our forts, they will die. So we're not in any immediate threat. We can just keep working on our economy for now. Welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you all. No! I tabbed out to check stream strat. I've done the cardinal sin. I've made it crash again. That's really sad. Well, that's probably a good place to end it off for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you've enjoyed the stream, I would appreciate if you subscribe or follow, depending if you're on Twitch. Apologies for the technical issues that's been today, but I'm going to try and get them sorted before the next stream. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go enjoy the next World Cup game. But I appreciate all of you. Please subscribe if you haven't. And thank you for being here. I'll catch you in a bit.